All right, we should be live. I didn't do any sound checks, but we should be going live soon, 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 soon. All right, YouTube says we're live. I'll wait till somebody comments below. Today we're going to go over ClickFunnels and the controversy of ClickFunnels and break it down. What is ClickFunnels? How to use it? Is it the evil? Is it the devil? Are people misusing it? Let's break it all down. Ascending Keys is first in the building. What's going on? There he is. Let me refresh my screen real quick. So today, for those who are watching the replay, this is a pure breakdown of ClickFunnels, the new kind of wave in the producer community. Classy Beats is here. Wushel is here. What's up? N Generation. Hi. How are you? Ludo Beats. What's up? Illmind went live at the same time. That's dope. Shout out to Illmind. AT Den, Sam Maruzzi, Classy, yeah, that thanks for awesome, man. You know, I'm just here to offer you more perspectives. I don't think there's been a fair perspective, and I just don't want you guys to limit your success over one-sided angle. The Agris, let me go a little bit faster. FM Beats, what up? Daylight Time, I'm not sure how to pronounce that. Daily TM, what's up? Savage Woods, I'm on this one. It's on mute. Yes, it was. I'm on this with it on mute. Oh, on mute. That's interesting. F Smitic, what up? Ludo Beats. Artisan, what's up? Indeed Loyalty, Marcus Cobbs, what up? Queued Up Production, what's going on? Good to be live again with you. Bino, what's up? Stacks. Now I hope to come with you, have fun, but this is more of a serious live. I'll be honest. It's not going to be like playing everybody's beat on this live. That sounded weird. Playing everybody's beat on this. No, never mind. No pause. Lex Kruger, TNO Stacks. TNO, what's up? Tarvis, Thornton. Calvin, what's up? Jerry Carter, my name Carter Beat, fool. Let's go. Omaz Arsh Harasir. I don't know how to pronounce that, but shout out to you. David Gaskin, what's up? Toby, Shek is in the building. So I'll let everybody get in here. Kind of take a little bit of time to get in here, but today we're going to address all the concerns about ClickFunnels, all of the latest backlash against the usage of ClickFunnels. I'll go through everything. This live stream is literally to break down everything and just go behind the curtain a little bit and just give you the pure, information versus just information that's been out there with no data, just making up stuff. I got to give you that data backed fact. This is not an opinion. This is experience. What's up? Can I check out Paco Beats? Let's go to Paco Beats real quick. Since you asked, Paco Beats with a Z. We're not going to play your track. I just want to go to your channel. So I'll break it all down. We'll get into how to apply it to your business so you don't feel like you're at a boring seminar. I don't know which one is you. There's like 1, 2, 3. There's 3 Paco Beats. You're going to have to go check somebody. Lifestyle did it, just went live too. Illmind went live. Shout out to all my family out there. All right, so let's pull it back in. Let's see how many folks we got in here. If we're at 100, we could start. If we're not at 100, I got to wait a little bit just so everybody's in the room. We're near 100, so all right. So the biggest thing with let me read your comments first. I hate the producers are hiding their ROIs when it comes to ClickFunnels. They aren't being completely honest. Okay. Who here saw the new producer grind video where they went through the people's websites and their funnels and stuff? Who saw that? Because I saw it. Give me like a 1 if you saw it. Something that lets me know you saw it. We are 100. We are 100. I don't know what that means. How can I sell my beats if PayPal Stripe isn't available in my country? That sucks. Have you tried VPNs or what do they call them? I think they're called VPNs. I've never used one, but have you tried it before? What else is out there? Stripe, PayPal, Shopify has a checkout. So try Shopify. Okay, so some folks saw the producer grind interview. I think we're at 100. I just wanted to wait till people were in here. I didn't want to start without everybody in the room, so give it a little bit. I don't have any cool sound effects or like music because I'm doing this out of love. There's no intention behind this. I'm not selling anything. I don't have any affiliate links to offer you. I just saw the negativity being propelled in the producer community, and it's dissuading so many people from starting their business. And just to give you backstory, I've created a lot of free videos online, how to sell beats, how to build your business. And for whatever reason, those are the lowest viewed videos. And I see why, because business is not the most fun thing in the world. But if somebody like Anno Domini or Gabe from Legion Beats gets people hype and Producer Grind gets people hype about selling beats and like the business of it, then so be it. Like if my videos aren't going to wake them up, somebody else has to do it. And at some point, we all have to get used to being business people. So I'll get into all the concepts, economy talk. We'll get into all this. Are we sending beats? Not today. Let me just read your questions first, just to make sure I'm in tune with you. I'm in America. Even if I got payments, how would I transfer overseas? I would just look at Shopify. Just skip PayPal and the other thing right now. Go to Shopify. Business with your funnel created equal. We'll get into that. Have you used funnels and seen positive feedback? Yes, I use funnels currently, and I'm trying to think where to start because there's so many objections about funnels that there's so much to explain. But I have to give you like a business education before I even get into what funnels are. So I think the best place to start is to describe what a funnel actually is. And let me just make sure I'm reading all your comments. Yes, I do use funnels. Do you know the Supreme? I don't know what that is. I know the brand. I love y'all. Future artists. Okay. All right. So firstly, let's define a couple things actually. Before we get into funnels and all this, there's been talk about people not being producers because they send off loops. And MG's been like the head of this talk. And it's unfortunate because I think you're dissuading a lot of people in the community from pursuing their dreams. So the first thing is look up the definition of a producer. We went to Webster's Dictionary and did this whole video and article a long time ago on what's that website called? Medium. Actually, let me look it up. Okay, Medium, BusyWorks, Beats. I've even cleared my cookies to show you an example of a funnel. So actually, let's do it real time. Okay, I know I'm all over the place, but you're getting like an MBA business education in about an hour. So you got to forgive me. I didn't plan this. This is just to uplift the community. There's no intentions behind this video except to educate you and show you that this stuff is not the enemy, okay? So let's go to Nordstrom, for example. Click on their website. And forgive me because I can't see all the comments, but if you at BusyWorks Beats, it should put it in orange and then I'll be able to see it a little bit easier. So it's hard to read and go back and forth. Okay, so does one need an established traffic Facebook page to use funnels? No, you don't need Facebook to do funnels, but it is good to collect data on Facebook using Facebook Pixel. So as soon as you can, make a Facebook page so that you can implement the Pixel on your website. Pixel is going to give you data about your customer, more stuff than you'd ever measure anywhere else, and it helps you track where people are going throughout your website. So it's just good to have that active period. All right, so how to sell beats online, we'll get into that. Okay, so I'm on Nordstrom. So let's go to like men's. What do you guys like? You guys like hoodies, t-shirts? What do you guys like? Clothing. I don't even know if Nordstrom sells hoodies. Do they sell hoodies? Oh yeah, they do. Do you guys like t-shirts or hoodies? Which one? Yeah, we're talking about the whole ClickFunnels controversy. There's this new wave of like trying to debunk ClickFunnels. There's a wave of people pushing it hard. So like I'm trying to give you the facts instead of people just giving you their opinion. This is from real experience, real data. Some BusyWorks socks. We're working on merch, okay? So let's click on some hoodies. It looks like hoodies are the go-to. All right, click on hoodies. So we're on Nordstrom. I'm showing you how a funnel works. This is the whole point of this. For those who just joined, we're showing you how a funnel actually works live, and then I'll show you how it all breaks down. So Nordstrom, I'm assuming they spend a lot of ad dollars based on their inventory. Okay, so let's click on just a random hoodie. So what this website is doing, it's collecting data to let them know that my IP address is checking out certain products. And it's basically I'm simplifying this, but it's giving them information to say, okay, he looked at hoodies. He might like hoodies. Okay, then I might look at some boots. So they kind of create this formula of stuff that I might like based on the web pages that I visited. And this is the importance of pixels because you can do what's called retargeting. Okay. So you're probably familiar with a funnel just being, and Craftmaster goes live. This is what I mean. It's so petty and unnecessary at this point. So what I'm saying right now is if you click on any hoodie and go off the website, they will retarget you. So a funnel is not always a squeeze page. And let's get into the history of funnels real quick. So the internet worked this way, in short, with marketing. You started with general websites where people would go and see your stuff. You've heard of websites, you know what a website is. Then we kind of evolved to these things called squeeze pages. So instead of building out a whole 30-page website that won't rank on Google anyway, people go to these things called squeeze pages. Okay, and squeeze pages are just 1 to about 10 pages of just step-by-step flows of web pages based on your actions on the previous web page. So for example, if you're on web page 1 and you said yes, you'll go this route, and then it'll take you to another web page, and then to another web page, and then another, until you get to the final checkout. Okay. Whereas if you said no, you go on a completely different path. And this is what squeeze pages are. And then they take you on a different path, different path, different path. That will lead to a checkout. So after squeeze pages, we had a company to try and like monopolize the concept of a squeeze page. The company was called Lead Pages. So they offered a solution that created squeeze pages for you. And then after Lead Pages, in came Russell Brunson, and his mentor was my mentor, Frank Kern. And Frank Kern taught him a lot about marketing and all this other stuff. So Russell Brunson was very tech savvy, and he built a website called ClickFunnels. Okay, so ClickFunnels is like an evolution of all these things. It went from website focused to squeeze page focused to lead pages focused, and then ClickFunnels just dominated the market. And that's why you hear them all the time. So it's a concept of, okay, you take somebody to one page, and if they say yes, they go one way. If they say no, they go a different way. And then it leads them to some outcome. So it saves them a bunch of server space and a bunch of website coding and all this, and it gets straight to the point. You want people to buy stuff from your business. That's kind of the point. Or get them on a list to where they can get more information about other stuff instead of building out a content website. Okay, so that's kind of the history of squeeze pages and ClickFunnels. Forgive me here. Yep, hoodies. Can you react to beats? Not right this one, because I feel like this message is a little more important than beats right now. We're going to get to beats in a different day. It's the second time I'm trying to X the ad on your screen. I hate X's or ads. Oh, okay. Yeah, if you have a question, I'm going to address all the questions just at BusyWorks Beats so I can see it in orange. It's a lot easier for me to see it. Okay, so I have an article on here called, man, I haven't been on my Medium in so long. The article is called, Are You a Songwriter, Producer, or where's it at? Let me find it. Oh, here it is. Are you a beat maker, a music producer, or a songwriter? I wrote this article in 2016, debunking everything you've ever heard. When people try to talk down on you and say you're not a producer because you make beats, this article literally explains everything in a nutshell. Now, it's kind of long, so I don't want to bore you by reading everything. So I think I highlighted the key points here. So I said, what makes a beat maker anyway? I said that instrumental is a piece of music performed by instruments with no vocals. Okay, a beat maker is a person or thing that makes or produces music performed by instruments with no vocals. Okay, so you're making instrumentals as a beat maker. Great. Let's define a music producer. So I said, so technically a person who makes instrumentals produces music without vocals. That's how it works. And what did I say? MG and Craftmaster go live. Why? Because they're trying to cause conflict within the community. And this is what we don't need. This is what's tearing down the producer community. And it's unfortunate. What is a music producer? I said there are many definitions of a producer. Producer, a person responsible for the financial and managerial aspects, like Diddy. He doesn't necessarily play the MPC or play the bass. He just organizes the people and gets them into a room. An executive producer for a film is somebody who funds the film. They're not necessarily hands-on like the director or the casting agents. Okay, so a producer is a person responsible for getting stuff together to create a product. It's producing a product. Or a producer is a person who supervises the making of a musical recording. We just talked about that. And that would be like a Diddy or somebody else, Dr. Dre. I said, but regardless of definition, in none of these definitions is a producer required to know how to play any instruments. And that's very important because we always get talked down to because we don't know how to play guitar or piano. That's not what makes a producer by definition. These are Oxford definitions, pure definitions based on the English language of what a producer is. So let's scroll down because I'm only reading the headlines here. And this is part of funnels, reading headlines. People don't read all the little in between. They read these things called headlines, the bold parts. If I'm not a beat maker or music producer, am I a songwriter? And I said a songwriter is a person who writes popular songs or the music for them. Long story short, so a songwriter is either a person who writes the words to a song or the person who creates vocals or instrumental sounds, meaning the beat maker, which combine in such a way to produce beauty of form. Am I busy? We're busy. We're live right now. I thought you were going to read from the dictionary. No. When you're running funnels, do you have to select the target audience? Is it like a cold Facebook ad? You can. A funnel is just a way to organize the flow of traffic. So with ads, you're buying traffic. So you're just saying, whose eyes are you trying to attract? Whereas a funnel is saying, okay, now that we have the eyes, where do those eyes go? That's an easier way to answer your question. Will you post this video? Yeah. Yeah, it's okay if you have to go somewhere. This is very businessy, but there's been this talk about funnels and like I don't want people to demonize this because if this is the way you get into the business of music business, then so be it. I feel like this is gonna wake so many people up to the new way of doing business. We need this awareness. I've made tons of videos for free. People didn't watch them. So again, if Producer Grind gets people hype about it, we need that as a community so we can all move forward. So I said anyway, the high and mighty title of music producer has nothing to do with musical talent or musical skill. And I said the ultimate takeaway, which I probably should have read the first sentence. I said, in the end, we find a beat maker is the same as a songwriter, except a songwriter may be one who only writes words to a song. And I said, and we also find that a music producer does not need any musical skill or talent to undergo their role. So are you a beat maker, a producer, or songwriter? Let me know. Okay, so basically you're a music producer in a music studio. If you make music in your area, whether that's your bedroom or a $1,000 studio or a $1 million studio, you're a music producer in a music studio. Don't let anybody talk down to you saying you're not anything of the above. Just because you make beats at home and send them off for placements or loops, whatever you do, does not make you any less of a producer. Do funnels run on a daily budget? No, ads campaigns run on a daily budget. They're called ad sets. Do we pay per view or click? I would pay per it depends on how you measure, but you pay per conversion, and you can also measure per click, but you have to do some more math. Like we'll get into that in a little bit. I don't want to bore people right now. Okay, so so now you have the back history. I'm going to go to a website that has ads, which is this whiteboard website. So if I refresh, chances are the ads at the bottom. What's a website with a ton of ads? Somebody help me in the chat. I wanted to get into it a while ago. Cool. But I'm sure you've gone to like a website and then you're like, why are they displaying that Tom Ford cologne I just looked at? I don't know any websites that use ad banners. So somebody help me out with the ad banner websites. I know you guys are seeing plenty websites with Amazon. Do they use ads? I don't think they use ads. eBay uses ads? Wow, that's pretty sad. Let's go to eBay. But my point is, you've seen it before, okay? I don't want to like try and find the perfect website. Okay, so right here. So for example, where this says Geico, if Nordstrom had an ad campaign that said they want to retarget people that looked at their hoodies, this will repopulate with the hoodie that I just looked at, and it will say something about men's hoodies because it followed me from their website, and then it sends data to the ad providers, and they go across their networks and feed them information. So this will be a dynamic ad. So that's what's called retargeting. And this is the beginning of a funnel, or excuse me, the second half of a funnel. Okay, so funnels are not always squeeze pages. So I gave you the history of what a squeeze page is. Give me 1 second to read comments. Project says, I wanted to get into it a while ago, but have a problem where I can't even sell my beats because where I live, I told you get Shopify. Oh, no, get Shopify. You can go with ClickFunnels, but I don't know how their checkout system is. I would check out with Shopify as your cart. It's called your cart, Shopify cart. Do you have videos on how to properly advertise your beats? Yes. I'll repost them later, but again, I don't want to bore people. Let's make sure we're not losing folks. So are you with me, guys? Give me a 1 if you're feeling this. If we're going somewhere, give me a 1. If I'm boring you to death, I'll try and make this funner. But I have to give you the history so you can understand what the heck this ClickFunnels stuff is. Okay. So again, we started with, now this is a traditional, okay, thank you for the feedback. So this is the traditional funnel that everybody thinks a funnel is. They think it's just people going to a web page. Okay, so this is the web page up here. And then they think it's only them going to a web page and then checking out. So I'll just kind of keep it short, call it checkout. Thank you guys for the ones. I appreciate your attention, and I appreciate you being here. Sorry to ask, but what is going on with the funnels dispute? I saw a few. Basically, MG is going on a campaign to destroy all his business relationships because he thinks he's defending the producer community, but you're destroying the producer community by discouraging people to move forward. And that's it's kind of like intention versus impact. Your intention might be good, but your impact is telling people that this is the wrong thing to do. How can I grow my audience? I guess that I'm not reaching the right people to, we'll get into that in a little bit. So this is the traditional sense of a funnel, but a funnel is really this, okay? You have to think of a funnel in broader sense, and you might not get this for a while because a lot of people aren't into business. So a funnel is general traffic. That could be ads, that could be website traffic. Okay, so I'll just say ads, web, that could be social. Okay, it's literally anywhere on the web, okay, that people begin the process. This is called traffic. Then you take the traffic, and even if they don't go to your web page, you have something called retargeting. Okay. And retargeting is where you gather the data from when they visited your website and you retarget with ads. Okay. So sometimes people may sign up for your email list, but they might not open the emails, or the emails might go to the promotions tab. Also, smash the like. Thank you, Bufo. Please hit the like button so like YouTube can get in their algorithm so that we can help more producers around the world. Because ultimately, we need to spread positivity and not tear each other down. I'm one semester away from a degree in business analytics, and it's so true. Data collection on the internet is absurd, especially political campaigns. Awesome. So Jared can attest to the information I'm giving you. What is the secret of Prodigy Beats? We'll get into that in a separate live. Okay, so anyway, you have general traffic like ads, webs, and social. And even if people don't open up their emails, because I know the typical way of doing this is, okay, I'll show you two paths. Okay, so you can have ads, people can go to your website, or people can follow you on socials, and then you do what's called an opt-in. Okay, the opt-in is where you exchange somebody's name and email for something for free, like a free beat, free pack of beats, free loops, free something. It has to be, you have to incentivize people to do this. So for example, on my website, I give people free project files. I give people free training. I give people free sounds. Okay. So that's what I offer as an incentive for people to opt in. And if you want an example of an opt-in real quick, I'll leave a link just so you can quickly go off and check. So for example, if you go to busyworksbeats.com/FL Studio, it will take you to what's called an opt-in page. Actually, let me open it up so you can see it. So this is an opt-in page. So YouTube would be the top of the funnel. This is where I got people's attention. I'm directing them to busyworksbeats.com/FL Studio. And once they sign up with their email, okay, they go to another page. Well, not another page, but I could send them to another page that does something else and tells them about a product I have or tells them about a service I offer, because you want to engage people while they're interested. It's just like a girl. If you meet a girl who's out, in the club or at the library or whatever, and she's interested in you, you want to offer, hey, you want to come back to my house? Hey, I got your phone number, but so let's make it a girl analogy, right? So we're at a club called YouTube, Club YouTube. All right, we're having fun. Everybody's putting ones in the chats. We're getting hyped. We're playing beats. We're shooting the sirens and shooting the gun effect. Okay, we're having fun. Club YouTube. Then I tell people, hey, I want your information so I can follow up with you and have build a relationship. You seem cool. Let me get your information. So I pull out my phone, AKA my opt-in page, and I say, hey, what's your name and what's your number? So the girl goes and puts in her number and her name, AKA the email name. And then you click get now. So right after you get the phone back from her entering the information, are you just going to walk away and just leave the Club YouTube? Or are you going to be like, hey, me and my friends are going back to my house. We're going to have a lot of fun. Wouldn't you want to come? You want to come back to our place or my place or whatever? Or you want to go somewhere else where we can talk privately? So after they enter their name and email, I'll just put test. I'll delete this later, but test@test.com. And then my name is Test. Hit get it now. So I don't have mine set up to where it goes to a separate page. It just goes to let people know that they're subscribed. Okay, but let's say it did go to a different page. Let's say the page was our premium training, like this page right here, busyworksbeats.com/premium. Yeah, let's talk privately. So you say, okay, I got her name and her phone number, and then I offer her something. This is called an offer. This is called a one-time offer. This is called right after they're super interested in you and gave you their name and number, they're interested. So why wouldn't you offer them something? They're interested. They want to know you. They want to give you energy. So I send them here to my premium website where they can learn more about premium training. And then they say, okay, wow, this is everything I was ever looking for. I'm going to sign up for premium. And now I turn that conversation into, what's up, Kays? Or Kaz? How do you say your name again? Kays, what's going on? Then you turn that conversation into something that's monetized. So now I know if I spend ads, okay, let's kind of get a little geeky. But let's say I spend $4 up front. I'll read your comment in a second. Let's say I spend $4 on an ad to get people to my opt-in page. Okay. They give me their name and email, but then they see that one-time offer and then they spend $50. Okay. So I didn't lose money on the ad spending $4. I just made, what's the difference? 50 minus 4 is 46. Yeah. 46. Can I do math? Yeah. $46. So that lets me know that every $4 I spend, I get $46 out of that. That's a 10x return. That's why advertisements are so important. This is what Anno and Gabe are trying to show you from Legion Beats, is how to multiply your money so we can do bigger projects, so we can do cooler stuff. And the way you do this is having a very focused lane. Okay. So again, Club YouTube, getting her attention. You see a girl. Okay, cool. Then you exchange her name and number over at the opt-in page called busyworksbeats.com/FL Studio. Okay. That's her name and number. Then you offer her something like going back to your house, and that's your product. That would be premium, for example, or whatever it may be. And then it's called a one-time offer. And then you can even go further than that. You can offer them even more stuff and more stuff. So it turns that $4 into maybe $400. You don't know what the value is until you measure it. But that's how you multiply your business using advertisements. Okay. So that's why I don't want people demonizing this, because this is how you grow and get your business to grow. Let me answer Case real quick. He says, what do you think of a subscription-based business model for selling beats? Customers that sign up would have access to exclusive discounts and maybe a few beats per month. Only thing about that is when my client was choosing beats, we only wanted the one beat, and somebody ran a buy one, get one free, and I completely overlooked the offer. It's because we only wanted one specific beat. Now, if you attract people who are going to build full projects like mixtapes and albums, that might be of more value to them because they need like an ongoing system of delivering the style. Okay. And they might like your style. So that might work in that case. You're going to have to change your marketing to people who are focused on projects in that case, not just one-offs. Okay. But yes, it's very doable. And subscription sites are selling for more multiples than your regular kind of cash flow business. I don't want to get too geeky. Let me make sure I'm not losing folks here. We did lose a lot of folks. Oh, you couldn't see the screen? Oh, why didn't anybody tell me? That's why. So let me move my big head. I thought you could see the screen. That's my fault. Let me move my head here. Hold up. Let's move it over here. My bad. I did not know you couldn't see the screen. All right. Geek on us. All right. So again, my point in this video is to show you that the stuff you're hearing is not cap. It's not a pyramid scheme. So I want to take your questions because I don't want to talk over you because I know a lot about this. So I feel like the stuff I'll introduce is kind of high level, and I just want to answer your questions where they are, not like in the future, because the way I look at it is a lot broader. And I could be answering questions that you don't even have. So that was my description of a funnel. So I think what MG tried to do was say that people are using ClickFunnels to sell ClickFunnels, meaning like they'll sell you on being an affiliate for ClickFunnels. Like the product isn't really the product, it's ClickFunnels as the product. But my answer to that is I had a friend recently in about the last couple months tell me about a company called ManyChat. It's a Facebook Messenger bot. Some of you might be on our Facebook Messenger sequence, okay? But I didn't know about this until like a couple months ago, and I didn't even know people used it. All my friend did was tell me about it, and I said, wow, thank you. I wish I could compensate you for telling me about it. That's the same exact thing affiliate marketing is. You're compensating somebody for telling you about something. It's the same thing Guitar Center is. Guitar Center is the middleman between the developers, the D I put over here, the devs, goes to Guitar Center, the store, or the distributor, and then it goes to the consumer. The only difference here is that the developers, aka ClickFunnels or whomever, whatever the product is, instead of going through traditional distribution like a store, we go through something called affiliate marketing or people of influence or anybody called affiliates. It's the same exact role as a Guitar Center, and then you sell to somebody. Why is that demonic? Nothing about this is wrong. This is actually the new way of doing business, the more influential way of doing business. Could you make videos on how to create a beat store, and would loop samples, packs, such be sellable content? Yes, I'll do that. I even did a couple, but people weren't watching them, so I stopped doing them. So we're in a funnel right now. I don't know if you were here about maybe 10 minutes ago, but here, I'll describe it real quick once more. So here's how this funnel works. Okay, so again, funnels aren't necessarily a web page. Excuse me. So you go from YouTube live, and let's say I tell you to go to some website to check out something like the FL Studio opt-in page. Okay, after you opt in at the FL page, I'm going to send you stuff over time. Let's just say I know I'm talking geeky right now, but let's just say I had a one-time offer that cost something like $40 or something like that. It's a very low ticket thing, because you're interested in FL. So why wouldn't I offer you more value that's higher value? Okay, so after that one-time offer, then you go into an email sequence, it's called. And this is what we call the back end. So the email sequence, its job is to deliver value over time. to show you that I'm the real deal. Okay, that's the point of dating. The girl wants to know that you're the real deal. Dating is value over time. And then you sell them something, and that would be, in the dating world, that would be getting with the girl, going steady, whatever guys call it nowadays. So it's the same exact thing in dating. You meet the girl at the YouTube club, you get her information with the opt-in, okay? And then you offer her to come back to your house as a one-time offer. She says no, let's say. So you follow up with text messages throughout the week. Those are called emails. You deliver value over time. You say, wow, I know you're trying to do this, this, and this. Let me introduce you to this person. They may be able to help you get to your goals. That's called adding value over time, getting people to their goals. And then you say, she sees that you've added so much value to her, and now you can ask her on that date. That would be a sell. It's the same thing. So I hate when people try to demonize the thing that's going to save you as a producer with your business, because a lot of people don't really put business as the focal point, and it's damaging the long-term vision for your creativity, because creativity can't fuel itself. You need money. Like the art in those museums is worth hundreds of millions for a reason. It's because they want it to keep going. They want to support the art. The art goes up in value. It tells what you're trying to explain. Cool. Is there a place? Oh, Brand 24. Let's see. Brand 24. Better not be no porn website. Something crazy. Brand 24. Okay, Brand 24. Funnels, I guess. Cool. So apparently this place explains funnels. It doesn't, off rip, it looks kind of convoluted, but I'm sure it does its job. Is there a place site where one can access? Wait, hold on, let me read this. Is there a place site where one has access to collect all the information that is gathered through the funnel you're running? Yes, that would be your Facebook pixel. So set up your Facebook. If you walk away with anything today, set up a Facebook page and set up a Facebook pixel. This will gather so much information and analytics and data. You don't even have to use it to sell anything. You could just use it to collect data so that you understand your customer a lot better. You are talking the truth. We don't have the audience to do this ish. You feel me? We don't have the audience. Oh, true. I'll watch them on repeat if I have to. I'd much rather make a suitable living off my imagination and spread the amazing sounds. Cool. Okay. So now I got to get to your heavy questions about funnels. Do you guys think funnels are a scam? Do you think it's a pyramid scheme? And let me get into the pyramid scheme thing too, because MG has been putting out a lot of just subliminal concepts, and it's tearing down the producer community, making you gain skepticism to everything. And that's terrible, because your number one block to success is skepticism. Affiliate marketing funnels seem inauthentic to people you're selling to though. So here's how it works. So the person at the top, let's call them the inventor. Okay. So they own what's in equity, meaning ownership. They own 100% of the product. Okay. So that's great. They own 100%, but they can't grow, because if the inventor has to sell the product, put it in front of a new audience, has to do all the work, it gets tedious. They can't do all that work. So they dish it off to a middleman, AKA the affiliate. Okay. And the affiliate takes a percentage of this equity. So they'll take, let's say 30%. So now let's say the inventor's reach is 100,000 people. Okay. Now with the affiliate, the inventor can reach 1 million people. That's 10 times the reach, but they give away 30%. So would you rather focus on 100% of 100,000 or 70% of 1 million? 70% of 1 million is 700,000. So you just grew simply by letting somebody else earn a little bit of your, I can't draw and talk at the same time. You just grew 7 times simply letting somebody else earn a percentage of the earnings off of your product. That's what affiliate marketing is. And it turns out to be a ladder. I mean, if you look at anything, everything turns out to be a ladder. You have a parent. I'll read your comment in a little bit. Forgive me here. I'm trying to make a point. So here's how pyramids, if you want to make them sound sketchy, you have a father, you have a mother. Wait, let me redo this. Hold on. You have a father and a mother. Okay. You guys have a kid together. So that creates something that looks like this. Then that kid has multiple kids. So let's draw it like this. Then those grandchildren have 3 more kids. And then those grandchildren have 3 more kids, and it multiplies. What does this look like? It looks, well, aside from my terrible sketching, it looks kind of like a pyramid, doesn't it? You're just building a family of economy. It's not a bad thing to call stuff pyramids. That's the nature of life. Everything stems from one thing and branches off into multiples. Even your cell divides that way. Affiliate marketing. I saw Case say something. Oh, here we go. Make sure you're not targeting to other producers if you're selling beats. Oh yeah, that's another thing. We can get. Maybe I'll do a separate live stream for Facebook ads. But right now, I just want to keep it focused on just funnels because I don't want to. People who don't run ads yet, they're not going to know what that means. Let me make sure I'm not losing our crowd. Okay, we're pretty decent. Okay, so I know you guys have questions about funnels, so just feel free to just throw them out there. Is building your email list more important? Yes, period. That's the number one thing you have to do right now. Focus on building your email list to have first before doing the ClickFunnels, or is that how you build a list? Yeah, so it's like the cart before the horse. So the way ClickFunnels works real quick, Dougie, is this. So let's say you're bringing people in from your social platforms. Okay, so you have social media. So from social media, you put out content like a video, an Instagram post, Instagram video, Facebook post, Facebook Live, whatever it is, any social media. You take them to what's called is my head blocking the screen? Hold on. Let me make sure I'm not doing this in vain. Okay, so let me move my head over here. Let's make my head smaller. I don't need a big head. There we go. Oh, here's another point about the producer economy. Just real quick. Triz, a flock of flame is in the building. My marketing compadre. So for example, this shirt I'm wearing is from a YouTuber called Austin Hull from Make Pop Music. I'll put his link in the Make Pop Music. So I said, instead of buying a Gucci shirt, because I wore Gucci shoes today. This is a little shout out to MG for saying I wear Gucci every day. I wore them today. And this shirt, I said, instead of wearing a Gucci shirt, let me wear my friend Austin Hull's shirt and give him some money so that instead of supporting Gucci, somebody who doesn't even give back to the producer community at all. I don't know the last time Gucci spent any money on a producer event, producer education, anything. So that money never comes back to the producer community. But if I give the money to Austin Hull, and the shirt's actually dope. I can't show the whole shirt, but trying to be a little model-esque, it's actually a pretty dope shirt. And I was excited to buy it because I know that I'm fueling his business and he's a contributor to the producer community. So that money is going to help the producer community. And if we all had products, whether it's shirts, loops, courses, sounds, beats, whatever the product is, but we all help each other and buy each other's stuff, we're going to ultimately build a big pool of money that's just going to increase the value of the producer community. And that's what I'm trying to do, is simply bring the value back to you. And the same thing goes with affiliates and ClickFunnels. About funnels at Long Live. I don't know what you mean at long. Oh, the person Long Live. Oh yeah. I'm trying to answer questions. So feel free to ask any kind of question, but at me so that I can see the question, because I can't, it's hard to read from back here. Okay. So I don't know. We could do that. You can zoom in and out. All right. So I didn't know that. So let's figure out how to get back to where we were. Oh boy, this is tough. Okay. So social media. Then you take people you asked about opt-ins real quick. You take people from social media to an opt-in. This is where you collect their email address, but you have to offer an incentive, like something that's free, and it has to be valuable. It can't just be a bullcrap beat you just made. Maybe a beat package or like a PDF or something that's interesting for the specific person that you're trying to attract. For me, I give out free project files, free sounds, free training. You have to change it up. Okay. So they go from your socials to your opt-in page. And then I forget your question now, so long ago. You said, is building your email list more important to have first or then ClickFunnels? Okay. So this would be, in the sense of a ClickFunnels, this would be where the funnel begins, at that opt-in page. And then you would send people to the one-time offer, and then you would send them emails over time, and then blah, blah, blah. I don't want to go too advanced because a lot of this stuff is tactic stuff. It's not like hardcore principle. It's more so like something that's dynamic depending on your business. But I just want to show you the behind the curtains explanation of it. Okay, let me see here. I'm only reading the orange comment. So at BusyWorksBeats, if you have a question, so I can read it. It's like when I was offered Beat Magic, I couldn't afford it. So I got premium silver membership at BusyWorksBeats.com. Shout out FM Beats. I appreciate you. And there's for everybody who's watching right now, you can get in for $4 for your first month at BusyWorksBeats.com. So it's only your first month, and then it's regular billing after that. So if you go to BusyWorksBeats.com/premium, for example, like FM Beats did. So he said, oh, I don't know about Beat Magic. It might not be the exact thing I'm looking for, but premium has all this stuff. Okay. So he's like, okay, this is what I'm looking for. So he clicked this, and then you go to a page that says pick your plan. You go to bronze. It doesn't really matter which plan you pick. And then you got to log in and create a page and all this, create a profile. And then towards the end, it will say your first month will be $4. Okay. That's to let you at least try our premium training. It's hardcore college level music production training. Okay. So, okay. So if you have a question, please re-ask it with the @BusyWorksBeats, just so I can see it from back here. Any tips on building a bigger email list instead of just giving out free beats? Well, sometimes the free beat, I think I answered K's with this, is sometimes it's not always the free beat that's the interest. Like, for example, I bought a beat and one of the offers was buy one, get one. I didn't want the other free beat. We weren't looking for extra free beats. So you have to really determine what is that thing that your audience, reverse engineer. So your audience has goals. Okay. Your job is to reverse engineer the goal to create the product. A lot of people start with the product and then they try to get people to their goal. Like they try to force them a certain way. Like by giving me an extra beat, you're telling me that all I want to do is make music. I might want to write a book. I might want to learn how to be on TV. So that's up to your audience, and that's going to differ based on the specific business. But you have to work backwards. Do a survey today. So if you have an email list or social media, ask all your people, give them a quick survey. Hey guys, I want to know your goals. What are you trying to do in life? And your goal should be to help them get to that goal. That's your whole business model. Should be helping them get to that goal. How do you clear the screen? I forget. Let's start over here. Delete. And I'll read your questions. Thank you for doing the @BusyWorksBeats so I can see it. Okay, how many folks we got in here? So give me a 1. Give me some positive reinforcement so I know I'm not boring you to death. But I really want to show you that there's a higher level to this funnel thing. It's more than just the software. It's real business. Trizza knows he's in here. All right. Okay. Okay. So any tips on building a bigger email list? Yes. Start giving away so much free stuff in exchange for an email. So White Boy Beats, I want you to go out and give out different free things, whether it's a PDF, a beat, switch it up. Don't only give away one style of free thing. After you make your content, whatever it is, an IG post, a YouTube video, say you can get this thing for free with the link below. Send people to your opt-in page, and when they opt in, they get the free thing. And also, it's easier if you put all your downloads into like a Dropbox folder, because it'll make it so much easier to update the stuff. So for example, right now, if you sign up at busyworksbeats.com/FL Studio, I'll tell you in one video, hey, you can get these project files for this video in the link below. In another video, I'll tell you how to get the chord codes chart. In another video, I'll tell you how to get the, whatever sounds, but they're all in one big Dropbox folder. And I tell people to go to the same opt-in page every single time. So that way you can always change up your free thing, but still direct them to the same exact email list. Hopefully that made sense to you. I have a lot of questions to go through. Okay. Don't opt-ins, free stuff decrease. No. Nope. Supreme Thottery. So for example, I'm trying to think of a high-end store that gives away free samples. When I shop at Neiman Marcus, for example, which is like a premium high-end type of store, I only shop there for like cologne, and like one time I bought a couple designer belts. I don't know if I bought shoes there. Yeah, I bought some Balenciaga shoes there, something like that. So after you're done your purchase with the cologne, they'll give you free samples. I wish I had them near me, but I don't. They're in my closet. They give you free samples. The point of the free sample is to get you to try it so that you come back and buy some more. But they make you buy something first. Okay, so that's the difference between Neiman Marcus and a lot of other companies. Now, they do have a lot of other free offers. I'm sure that they have, last time I went to Neiman Marcus, they had a night where what was it? You can create your own fragrance, I think. Yeah, you can create your own fragrance. And they basically demoed how to do it, and you walked away with a little sample thing. So there's they do it on a different level, but yes, it's the same thing. You can obtain emails through ClickFunnels. Okay, so funnels work specifically in conjunction with social media platforms, not on their own. They do work on their own. So Bufo, you might have to rewind the video, because funnels, it just means, how do I talk to somebody I previously came in contact with? That's all a funnel is. How do I talk to somebody I previously come in contact with? So that first point of contact could be social media. It could be an ad. It could be your website traffic. Okay, this is the first point of contact. Then you have the second point of contacts. These could be emails that you send out to your email list. These could be ads, retargeting ads specifically. I know I'm kind of just drawing terrible letters, but retargeting ads. These could be, what else is there as a way to kind of banner ads? Okay, well, ads in general, emails, any form of communication, text message. Okay, Then the third point of contact is saying, okay, I got their attention again. So the eyeball goes from here to here to here. And ultimately, the goal is to lead them to a sale. A sale. I put the wrong word, but you know what I mean. Sale. S-A-L-E. Okay, to offer more value to them, get them to the solution that they want. So how do we start? Where to go? First off, good question, JR Music. So here's a free, now the only thing, does Klaviyo have a free plan? Hold on, let me make sure I'm up on the questions too. So what I'll do is, instead of freezing the chat and kind of like going through question by question and kind of ignoring everybody, I'll just keep asking the question. And then what I'll do is I'll pick a question from like what I see in the live chat. That way we keep rewarding the people who are like active. Okay. Cool. Trizza uses ClickFunnels. Question. This funnel seems to work only because of their design, which is to give the customer only one action to take at a time. Can we replicate this design on WordPress? Yes. So for a long time, I didn't have this kind of elaborate sales page stuff. I went through, there was one plugin called like Ninja Opt-in, and then I went to another plugin called Squeeze Pages, then another plugin called Optimize Press. Then, now there's ClickFunnels, there's a bunch of stuff you can do to create this. Long story short, to answer your question, let me see what your question even was. Yes, you can do it on WordPress. So there are a lot of solutions. Try Optimize Press. That's what I use, and it's really good. Optimize Press. It's worth the money. They updated it, and it looks very clean. So I'm working on, so for example, Beatmagic, I didn't really do everything I wanted to do to the sales page, but Beatmagic, for example, was built with Optimize Press 3, which is their new updated version. So it gives you, I didn't really like go ham with it. So there's nothing to really tell that, for example, these icons before used to be kind of blocky and chunky. But now they fixed it to where you can, it's very versatile. This page isn't the best example, but they have a bunch of examples. Anyway, what'd you say, Trizza? Klaviyo is based on numbers. Okay. So Klaviyo, let me see if they have a free option though to get people started. This is what I'm using right now. I just left MailChimp and moved to Klaviyo. So I'm not giving you BS pricing. Let's see what their pricing looks like. Okay, you can get it free for up to 250 people. So this is what I recommend early on, because long term you don't want to have to leave MailChimp to go to Klaviyo anyway. So this gives you like everything you need as far as advanced marketing and data and all this type of stuff. Just get Klaviyo. It's the best decision I made, thanks to Trizza. So shout out to Trizza. Let's get back to your questions though. I don't want to bore people who are like watching and waiting for me to answer. So if you asked a question before and you don't see it in orange on the left, be sure to @BusyWorksBeats, then ask your question again, please, if you could. And it'd be a better idea to copy your question in your text thing so you don't have to keep typing it out every single time. Making sure I'm not boring people. Okay, we're good. Okay, how can you tie Kawave says, how can you tie in giving away free clothing in exchange for it? That's interesting. That's going to be expensive though, to give away free clothing, because your clothing, let's say it costs you $10 per piece. Now it's okay if you know that your return is great. So you can have that flexibility giving away free clothing when you know that ultimately you give away $10 and you make $1,000. Like it's like a no-brainer. Because now you have $990 you can then spend on ad spend to get people to this $1,000 mark. So many people are focused on the cost per click. They're worried about, okay, I got 9 cents per click. That's not really what matters. What matters is the end goal. So if I know that I can spend either $1 to get a customer that's worth $1,000 or $10 to get a customer worth $1,000, I'm willing to spend up to $500 for a customer that's worth $1,000. That's still double my investment. So that's when you add in things like the t-shirts, the free trip offers. A lot of us don't have that flexibility. We don't have that much cash on hand. But for the bigger companies, they have a little more flexibility to do that, because they know ultimately the LTV, or the lifetime value of their customer, is $1,000. And I teach all this stuff in our music business mastery course. This is the stuff I teach, right? And notice I'm selling, okay? I don't demonize selling. Why would I demonize a solution for you to help you get to the next level? That's another thing we need to break as a producer community. Yes, I'm selling you something right now. It's called, go to busyworksbeats.com/business mastery. And this course explains all the stuff that I'm explaining right now in deeper levels. Okay, so we have all of our mastermind meetings all in this course. I have an extended audio explanation of our masterminds and all the concepts we go over. Okay. It's worth $3,000 alone for just the training. And I've added in so many bonuses. Okay. So yes, I'm selling you something right now. Yes. It's no magic trick. I'm not trying to pull your arm and trick you into doing anything. And I want you to get over that, because if you're scared to sell, you're not going to sell. The first person you have to sell is yourself. Okay, so without my preaching, let me answer your questions. How do you target people? How do you target people? On Facebook, you have these things called audiences. So I want you to do a little more research, because I don't want to bore people to death with Facebook's infrastructure. But you have something called audiences. I don't know why I wrote audiences at the top. Let's do this over. So your Facebook pixel, I'll be real quick about this, DJ912. Your Facebook pixel picks up information from everybody who visits your website or anywhere where your Facebook pixel is embedded. So it collects their data, and then it sends it to, what did I just say? The second part was your Facebook audiences. You can create an audience or a group of people out of everybody who went to your website, for example. So you can say on Facebook, I only want to target this specific audience, everybody who's visited my Facebook page and liked it. And this target audience, wait, let me make sure I'm answering your question. How do you target people? Yeah. So from this point, the next level of this is excluding people. So a lot of people don't exclude things. So you can exclude people who have, bought from you on your email list. So this is why email lists are so important, because you can import your email list as an audience, and you can exclude people who have bought things from you. So you're not spending double the money talking to somebody who's already bought something. So you take the Facebook pixel data, you target the specific Facebook audience, and I want you to look into lookalike audiences, because this is where this is how you're going to get to 1 million. Okay. Lookalike audiences. You want to focus on those, and then focus on people who have liked your page and they're friends of people who have liked your page. You can even go as far as to say common interest or other pages on Facebook. So competitor Facebook pages, that's another option as well. I wouldn't go that way first, because focus on the people that are focused on you first, then worry about everybody else. So once you exclude, you're going to save yourself money on ad spend. And then that's how you worry about the ROI. Actually, it's technically called the ROAS, return on ad spend. It's a whole different thing. So I want you to focus on those terms. Okay. I can go deeper, but I don't want to not answer everybody else's question. Okay. So guys, again, if you have a question for me, at BusyWorksBeats, and then put your question again, it'll save you time if you copy your question and then paste it. I'm just going to keep looking at the chat. I know a lot of people asked those questions before. I couldn't really get to them all, because I don't want to bore the people who are actually currently here with us. Okay. So the next question here, do we still need a website for our product? I just jumped in and heard you mention Dropbox. Can you recap that? Do you need a website? Good question. I'm starting to recalculate the way I think about websites. What you're going to need, given all my energy. So, let me answer your question. Let me see. What would you need if you skip the website? Okay. You would need some type of page software, whether that's, I wish I could type in here. Can I type? This might be easier. Type. Hold on, guys. Let me get this situated. There we go. I can type. There we go. Okay. So hold on. Let me redo all this stuff real quick and just type this in. So the first thing you're going to need is a page of some sort, because you need to have a place where people go to focus on your thing. Where's my text? Here we go. Text size. Let's make it big. 60. Okay. So the first thing you need is a page software. So this could be WordPress. It could be Optimize Press is what I use, but it requires WordPress. You can use ClickFunnels, which you can just, it's not. You can use a site called Lead Pages, but the difference is, and this is a short explanation, is when you buy a website, and here's a tip, guys, buy your domains off of Google Domains. Okay, so buy your domains from Google Domains. Excuse me. I just ate, so I'm digesting here. So buy your domain from Google Domains. So the thing about a website is you need a name, like a URL, and you need what's called hosting. So the way I understand it is hosting is like having a hard drive. Well, it's like having a hard drive full of stuff. And then the domain is just like a way to direct people to that hard drive, if that makes sense. So you're going to need a place, you're going to need hosting, and you're going to need a domain. Okay. And I don't want to bore people with this because it's so techie, but you can get this through what's it called? HostGator. You can do Google Domains. You can use, what is it called? HostGator for the hosting. And you could buy your domain off of Google Domains and import it into HostGator. I like HostGator. I use HostGator. Um, anyway, my point in saying this is that it's not boring. Okay, classy. Thank you for reassuring me. So WordPress alone won't have opt-in pages. Optimized Press won't work unless you have hosting under WordPress. Lead Pages has its own hosting and its own, and Bluehost is another one. Lead Pages has its own hosting and its own domain name that you can buy. And I think ClickFunnels is the same thing. Same thing with Shopify. You can buy a domain name under Shopify, and you can also have them host your website. So for example, Shopify is hosting my store. So whenever you click on, let's say you go to busyworksbeats.com for our latest product called BeatMagic/BeatMagic. When you click on the link, it takes you to a Shopify link. So it's not on my website. If you look, it says myshopify.com. That's not busyworksbeats.com. It's my Shopify. And Shopify handles the hosting of the products and all these things. If you're going the Shopify route, there's so much to tell you guys, but if you're going the Shopify route, here's the combo I suggest. Shopify, SendOwl. What else do I use? Dropbox to deliver downloads. And it saves a lot of time too, just using Dropbox in general. And what else do we use? Shopify, Dropbox, SendOwl. That's about it. And then your own website. So my WordPress and Optimized Press. So that's what I use personally. But just keep in mind that Lead Pages can do hosting and web pages. ClickFunnels can do hosting and a website name. Shopify can do hosting and a website name. Whereas WordPress, Optimized Press, I think you have to use it as a plugin or a theme under WordPress. So I don't want to complicate that because this is a lot to teach. WordPress and so anyway, any more questions? I need to answer your hot questions about funnels and any misconceptions that were put out by MG the Future and Craftmaster Production. Shame, MG. I don't know what you're doing. You're misleading so many people. In case you missed it, does playing YouTube to add my video clip work? What? In case you missed it, does paying YouTube to promote, I guess, advertise my video clip work, or should I do something else? I'm not sure you're asking what works means to get sales. In case you missed it, does paying YouTube to advertise my video clip? Yes, I do it a lot. I run YouTube ads. It works, but you have to know how to run ads. I think you get 250 free, how to target. Okay, so I'm still answering your questions. Dropping game, thank you. It's not a scam, and MG needs to chill with the conspiracy talk because all it's doing is confusing people and it's turning people off from business. And like the biggest thing you guys are missing right now is the business part of all this. And that's what I'm trying to save you from it. Regardless of if somebody's on ClickFunnels to sell ClickFunnels, again, my metaphor for that is saying that you have the developers for, let's say, Omnisphere. Let's say you want to buy Omnisphere. Okay. You have to go to a website called Sweetwater, or you have to go to guitarcenter.com. That's called the middleman or the distributor. Then you buy it and you are the consumer. So if I'm looking for a solution called ClickFunnels and I don't know anything about business and I want to up my business by using funnels and getting all this information, why am I demonizing the middleman called the affiliate? That doesn't make any sense because they are the store. They are the distributor of the solution that you're looking for. And I'd rather enrich my own community than enrich somebody who doesn't even give back to the community. So that's the whole purpose of this. I want the producer community to grow on levels that we've never seen before. In order to do that, we all have to understand these higher levels, and we all have to understand the greater economy of this. When's the last time these big companies hired you for anything? Any company, name any software company in the chat. Name your favorite software company from music production, I mean. Let's see. Let me answer the geek real quick. But tell me your favorite audio software in the chat real quick. I haven't started a website for my beats yet. Is it okay for beginners? Yes. I think it's the way for the beginners. Now, again, you're confused because you're asking me a very broad question, but yes, I'm already collecting emails and using MailChimp to send my offers. Any tips should I stay with MailChimp? I would say make sure, again, I said this earlier, but make sure that you're opt-in. Make sure you're not offering the same thing for free download. And I'll read your answers in a little bit. So for example, if you say free PDF, say that in one piece of content as the free download, then a different video, say you can get these free sounds or whatever, your free loops. Okay. In another video, say you can get this free beat or whatever the free thing is, change it up at the top portion and then keep the same opt-in. Okay. So the problem is a lot of people use the same top thing. They say, get my free sounds here. But that person might not want sounds. They might want a beat, or that person might want a PDF. but deliver them to the same opt-in, okay? And offer all these things under one big Dropbox folder. So have your PDF, have your sounds, have your beat all in one big Dropbox folder. Don't just deliver one thing. I feel like the problem with your opt-ins right now is that you're not offering enough value. It's kind of like the girl. Like you might get her phone number and name, but you might ask for her phone number and her name, but she's not going to give it to you because she's like, he's just going to text me about coming over his house because all he wants to do is sell me, aka sleep with me, aka take me out. He always has these intentions. Whereas if you were sincere and said, hey, I just want your number because I want to add value to your life. Here's the value that I've added. Here's the value that you can have for free right now. Think of it like you're dating. You wouldn't just give a girl you like nothing. I mean, come on. All right. So can affiliates help you quit your job? Yes. I made a video. It's a longer video about how affiliate payments are actually quicker. You can get out of your struggle a lot quicker with affiliate income than waiting on social media payment platforms. And I've lived it. YouTube paid for my senior year in college. It paid for my junior year, I think, even. And if I started off with affiliate marketing and then I moved to the monetization of content, but it would have been a lot quicker if I used affiliates while I was monetizing, because you get the payments quicker and it's a lot easier to get paid. So for example, you need 1,000 views on YouTube to get $1 on average. Now with affiliates, you can only get 100 views, but sell $50 worth of stuff. Okay. So, I mean, you either have to get 50,000 views to get the same amount of stuff, or, you do the math. So it's a lot quicker when you use affiliate links. Now, this is assuming that you have integrity and that you're, doing the right thing. Now, some people do misuse affiliates, and that's the whole point. But I know I'm so long-winded. My point is that even if they're trying to sell you ClickFunnels, that's a solution that you need to get you to the next level. So don't demonize the man trying to get you a tool that you need to the next level. What are your thoughts on using GoDaddy for hosting? Because that's what I have. GoDaddy for hosting. I just know my mentor's website he shut down his server because he flooded GoDaddy servers, but I don't know too much about it. I just go with HostGator. I don't know. I like their support. Homework and build. True. Okay. So 8DO. When's the last time you've heard 8? Now I don't know this company, but they reached out, I think, once, or I don't know. But 8DO, when's the last time they offered you a job as a producer in the producer community? When's the last time they came and did a free event to uplift the producer community? When's the last time they did a free course, a free video, anything to lift the community up? ImageLine, when's the last time they offered anybody from the producer community, whether that's Curtis King, whether that's Trizza, anybody who's influential, a job at their headquarters? When? None of these companies have done that. Isotope. Now, luckily, I have a relationship with Jeff Manchester. They invited me up to the Boston headquarters. But did they offer me a job? No. I didn't see too many colored people in the Isotope headquarters, to be honest with you. And that's not to say that they're discriminating. It's to say that my point is, where are these companies offering jobs or positions or opportunities to the producers who are uplifting their product? I'm saying the energy doesn't come back to the community, and that's the problem. So these developers, whatever the company is, and I'm not here to bash any company in specific. So you have a developer, okay? They serve the producer community. How can I draw this to make sense? Let's put it this way. Let's make two pools of money. Okay, so this is the developers pool and this is the producer community pool. So this is what you guys have to understand. These companies that are in completely different countries, mind you, like Sweden, Germany, okay? They develop something and they extract money from the producer community. Okay. So as we shrink, when are we ever getting that money or energy back? The stuff is not leaving them coming over here. It's just extracting. And if we don't create an internal infrastructure to protect the producer community, and let all these companies just come in and just leech off of our energy, we're not going to have too much to recycle into our own economy. And that's my whole goal, is to create a bigger vision for the producer community. For those who have websites, should we include everything in the first page and also include a menu option? For websites, I've had better results when my front page was like a specific sales page. So instead of thinking of your front page as like, hey, here's everything I do, think of your front page as a sales page in itself. Just that mentality alone will save you a lot of time in trying to get conversions, okay? Because I had a lot better conversions when my website wasn't this broad kind of thing. Like if you go to busyworksbeats.com, I'm remodeling right now. Okay. But if you go to busyworksbeats.com as an example, it's very broad. Okay. So let me let it load up a little bit. First thing, load speed. That's another thing you guys have to work on, but that's more advanced. Anyway, so it's very broad. So you come here, you see our new 50% off everything offer using code 50, which is still active. That's a holiday code you can use on anything at busyworksbeats.com except Beatmagic because it just came out. Okay. But you scroll down and it tells you about all the companies I've worked with, like Razer. I was on that for 2 years next to Metro Boomin, Murder Beats, Sunny Digital, Dead Mouse. Who else was on that campaign? Yeah, I think a couple other folks. I forget their names. Universal Audio, I've worked with them. They're the top company in my opinion when it comes to audio. One of the top. Image Line, I work with them. TuneCore, Isotope, Akai, Arturia. Even this moving, like my banner is weird size, so it keeps moving the page. That's another thing I have to fix. Arturia, Sweetwater, Wave, Serato. So I've worked with all these companies. Then it goes to another section where you can learn more about our music theory course, our mixing course, our premium course. So it's a little confusing because it's trying to show you everything about me in the front page, and it's too broad. Like a little bit about game, So I should make this into more of a sales page so that when you come to the main website, it gets straight to the point and focuses on one thing versus all these things like shotgunned at you. And that's the main issue with my front page specifically. All right, let me go back to your questions here. Let me make sure I'm not losing too many folks with the business talk. Pardon my ignorance, but do you have a Facebook ads course? I talk about social media dominance in our premium section at busyworksbeats.com/premium. And I also have a course called Music Business Mastery. It's about these concepts because you have to understand the greater, not a Facebook ad course specifically about Facebook ads because it's going to change. So I find that kind of irrelevant. But Business Mastery is your closest course next to our premium course it's called Social Media Mastery. Okay. We have it in there. Right? You might not even need ads right now. You might not be at the ad level. What the benefit me as a recording studio owner, I pretty much only mix and master. Yes, because you will have better leads. You'll have more clients coming in if you use these techniques. The energy, yes. Are you using HostGator with? I use Host. Yep. It's senseless that these companies don't really attempt more business connections with producers. It really is. It's like, how do you serve a community and don't even acknowledge? Like for example, Image Line, great company. They didn't acknowledge me for 3 to 4 years. 3 to 4 years. A guy who's basically made your brand popular and taught the world your whole brand, and you don't even acknowledge them, like with an email, with anything, a tweet, a retweet, nothing. That's the slap in the face I'm talking about. And we deserve better. Bottom line, let's create our own economy. Why are we so reliant on these companies? It makes zero sense. Would this benefit me? Yes. Okay. So the funnels thing, let's see if we have any more funnel. If you have any more funnel specific questions, I can go through the tweets of MG and debunk everything he's ever said. He's one person I found to make up stuff. He literally just made up stuff and just says stuff that I didn't even say. He just made up. It's incredible. But if you want me to go through the Twitter and read each thing and go through and kind of tell you the opposite, I will. But unless you have a specific question, then I'll use your questions as content versus giving him shine. Av McCree, what up? Religion literally just, okay. So I think we ran out of questions. Are the Google domains cheaper than GoDaddy? They were pretty cheap. I think it was like $9 a year, something like that. It's cheap. It's not going to break your pockets. It's cheap. Do you have to sign up? Wait, do you have a sign up link? I'm about to sign up for what? Sign up for what? What do you mean? I'll link it in. I don't know what you're asking, but I'll put premium there. I'm not sure what you mean. It's on our premium page. I know, but no, it's not that I'm a narcissist. MG says blanket things because there's a lot of public things that you guys don't know, but behind closed doors, we have a lot of conversations, and he's alluding to those conversations we had, and he could try to mask it and kind of make it broad as he wants to. We all know you're talking about specific people, and it's not even that he's targeting a specific person. It's the consequence of him going on these rants. It's turning a lot of people off from higher business strategy. And you're teaching the community to literally go backwards and be skeptical of funnels and all these type of things that are the core foundation of true business. And it's just shocking that like somebody would just go on and on and on about holding people back from success. If I stop paying for a domain, can anybody else take it over? I think after a while they put your domain up for auction, but I mean, domains are what, $10 a year? I mean, it's not gonna break your pockets. And if your chances are your domain name, nobody's gonna take it anyway because it's probably like super specific. I'm currently at 1,000 plays on my BeatStar page, and I sold 2 beats. Should I start ClickFunnels or should I wait to grow more? 1,000 plays, that's actually pretty low as far as general traffic. So the fact that you sold 2 beats is pretty cool. So here's what you would do, MXL. You would say, okay, it takes me 1,000 plays to get 2 beat sales. How much is 2 beat sales worth? Let's say your beat sales are $25. Okay, so whoops, can I draw here? So let's say your beats are worth $25. Let's say you just sold 2 for 1,000 plays. That's $50 per 1,000 plays. So now you go, okay, every 1,000 plays I get $50. So if my goal is $50,000 in my bank account per the year, I need to multiply this times 1,000. I need to get 1,000,000 plays, okay, to get that 50,000. If I'm doing that math right, I could be doing this wrong, but 1,000 times 1,000 should be 1,000,000. Last time I checked, somebody correct me if I'm wrong. But now you know, okay, you need 1,000,000 plays to get $50,000. And how can you, instead of just selling those 2 beats, how can you sell something called an upsell or something with more value or even less value? How can you sell somebody even, for example, I just went to a female hair store. What's up, Star? Went to a female hair store and I bought some supply. And I only wanted to go there for shampoo. And the girl sold me on shampoo, conditioner, another shampoo, face moisturizer. That's 4 things. I only came in the store for 1 thing. She sold me on 4 things. That's called upsell. You want to do the same exact thing for your customer. And now I love those 4 things she introduced me to. It's because my radar it didn't know about those other things. So it's your job to tell people about the other things. Let me make sure I'm going through all your questions here. If you could at BusyWorks Beats, it'll pop up in orange so I could see it. Okay. Let's see. Narcissists don't ask themselves that question. Blah, blah, blah. Can you run Google Ads with your ClickFunnels? Yes. You can run any type of ad, any type of social media. Funnel is just a way to direct people's attention. That's all it is. Can you recap what you're talking about? Basically, you're going to have to rewind it. There's no quick way to say it, but I'm describing modern business online. That's what I'm describing. How do I connect with you privately concerning using your courses for after school programs? Cameron, if you could put the subject line like, what would be a cool subject line? Like, what did you say? After school? So put in like in all caps so my team could identify it. After school program op or something like that. And then send that to info@busyworksbeats.com. And it'll go to my team, and my team will hopefully put it aside for it. Let me take a screenshot so I can remember. I'm probably going to forget, but whatever. Let me take a screenshot. There we go. So my plan is also to get in schools soon, but we're not at that level just yet. I have to make sure a couple more things are locked in. All right. Going through your questions. I find you 3 days ago, you telling really valuable stuff on this channel. Do you have a plan to discuss more about Isotope Ozone for mastering? We'll get back into it eventually. We're just not on the mixing wave right now on BusyWorks Beats. I plan to do a vocal mixing course soon, but we're not on the mastering stuff just yet. You can't buy a domain name. Cool. Physics and music. I like physics. Money is horrible. This guy is not. And if you feel okay, bye. Barely got hair. You barely got hair. I guess true. I cut it off. Okay, I'm looking for questions. Okay, so he was talking about business or the art. So was he talking business or the art? Seems like what he was saying was more nuanced than ClickFunnels or antitrust. You're right. Of course, he's talking about where's the music and but there's such a deep conversation, and I would love to go tweet by tweet from his Twitter and just really debunk it, because the point of a song is not always to go to Drake. Sometimes it's to go to Suzanne, who lives in Indiana, and she just wants to express herself over a song. That song might not go on SoundCloud. It might not hit the Billboard charts. That doesn't make you any less of a producer. And my question to MG is this. If you're so against people selling to the average person who doesn't go in the studio and really treat their music career hardcore like Drake or like Kendrick, then what does Kendrick and Drake, who do they sell to? Who's their consumer? And that's the problem we have as a producer community. We're so worried about the placement. Okay, let's think about it from a placement point of view. Yes, you can seek Drake placements, Kendrick placements, anybody placements. That's one point of revenue. But what do those artists chase? They chase the bags from Sprite. They chase the bags from any brand, you name it. Sprite, Nike, Adidas. For the females, Fashion Nova. That's what they're doing. So let's cut out the middleman called the artist and let's go straight to Sprite, straight to Nike, straight to Adidas and do our own deals. That's all I'm preaching right now. And yes, I said preach. And that's my problem with what MG is saying. He's saying that if your song doesn't end up on the internet with tons of plays and Billboard charts, that you're not a producer. You're not a real music producer. And that's demotivating so many people. You're making so many people question themselves. And that's not fair to the person who just wants to express themselves. When I was in my high school bedroom just playing beats on the computer, I wasn't even thinking about placements. I just loved making beats, period. And that's what led me to my joy and my purpose. Okay, so don't ever stop people from going to their purpose. Star says she got you on the upsell. Yeah, for sure. How would you upsell another composition? So in this case, compositions are very subjective. So what I would do, instead of offering, here's a quick way to do it. So let's say there's a composition or a beat, we'll just call it. The way you upsell another beat is to offer the entire bundle of something. So not just like, hey, here's a beat that's similar, but a whole bundle of, let's say 20. I'm just making up a number. 20 beats. And this is what Gabe from Legion Beats does, because it's so subjective with music. You don't know which one of those 20 they like. So what you would do on your sales page, you would send them to a beat. And then the next page would say, oh, by the way, here's a bundle of 20. You get this beat number 1 plus 19 more for a limited time price of whatever, X. Okay, so instead of, I don't know why I use X. I should have used, so let's say the original price was Y and your bundle price was X. So they say, oh, for a limited time, the price is X. So now they spend X with you versus Y. And that's a quick way to use, to upsell another composition, is offer bundles. Okay, from it's called a one-time offer. You might have to rewind the video about one-time offers and what they are, because I can't describe the whole process of what a one-time offer is right now. Oh yeah, it's voting day too. That's funny. It's voting day. Who voted here? I didn't go out to the polls today. I salute your, okay. Will do. Thank you. She got you. Yeah. Wait, I feel like I'm reading the same thing. I want to know what can I, oh shoot, it's going away. I want to know what can help me write better song lyrics. Sorry if it's off topic. Going through stuff. You got to write about real emotions. Write about real emotions, stuff that people actually go through. The whole point of a song is to identify with somebody. It's called resonating. When you speak somebody else's language or you have a similar story, you resonate and you light that person up. So you want to start talking about emotions and talk about life experiences or a situation like a breakup, heartbreak. What else do people go through? Just, rags to riches stories people can identify with. Reluctant heroes, another storyline, but you can't, that's kind of odd to use in a song. There's different study storytelling and then study of the emotions and study common problems of human beings. Podcast. Discuss what? I'm kind of like all over the place with the chat. I'm not sure what you mean by discuss. How do you get your beats to a Sprite? You would, same way I got with Razer. You just consistently put out so much stuff that people can't ignore you. Razer came to me, a $1 billion company, and held me on the thing for 2 years. The other producers did not get 2 years on their campaign. Metro Boomin did not get 2 years. Murder Beats did not get 2 years, I don't think. Now, I could be wrong because I didn't check it ever since. Who else? Anderson .Paak was on there. Deadmau5 was on there. Who else was on there? Murder Beats, Sunny Digital. I'm not sure anybody else had two years of a run with Razer like I did. Okay, and that's because I'm doing the work. I'm being consistent. I have an actual audience that actually cares, and we actually serve our audience, and that's what they need. So as long as you keep doing that, you'll attract brands to you. If I opened up my team's email right now, you would see brand after brand after brand after brand after brand in the emails. I don't even look at them. Like, I'm at a point where I'm like, look, we need to focus on the producer community first. Then we'll talk to the brands. That's the level I'm at. So I'm like, let's lift our own people up first. How to collect royalties. That's a very broad topic. DJ Pain One probably has more information on that. I don't know too much about that side of the game. DistroKid, TuneCore. I don't know. There's so much paperwork crap as far as that goes. You're going to have to talk to either Diego Ave. He has a lot of information about that. I consult Diego Ave. Whenever I have an industry question, I consult him. Diego Ave Music. Emotional transducers make more money than anyone. Emotion, music, lyrics. Yes. Because here's how you manifest anything in life. You have a thought. The way I memorize this is it spells tear. So you have a thought, then you emotionalize the thought or crystallize the thought by embodying the thought or thinking about it over and over and over again until it's embedded into your hormonal system. Excuse me. Then you take action on that emotion and then you have results. So this is how you manifest the invisible stuff into this reality. So emotion is that second step. Okay. That's why I said focus on scenarios that people have, common thoughts, common problems that people have. My voice is really going. I didn't realize this was going to be so taxing on my voice. I see you guys aren't really worried about the ClickFunnels thing, but is there a such thing? Oh, speaking of funnels, is there a such thing as an ideal funnel for producers? My sincere apologies for appearing lost and clueless on the subject. An ideal funnel. So let's go through maybe an ideal funnel for you. So here's how it would work. Okay, people go to your YouTube page or your SoundCloud page or your IG. Okay, chances are they'll see you here instead of the other platforms. Then you lead them to what's called, okay, I'm just going to draw it like a funnel so it looks like we're going somewhere. Then you lead them to what's called an opt-in page. It's going to look basic, but business is literally this simple. It's not that complex. You lead them to an opt-in page. This is where you collect their emails, their text phone number, and their name. Okay. Most likely just name and email because you don't have a text provider just yet. Okay. So name and email. Then after the opt-in, you send them to what's called a one-time offer. This one-time offer is something related to the reason they came to get that free thing with your opt-in. So the reason they come from your YouTube, your SoundCloud, and your Instagram is because they want something for free. They need to be incentivized. A lot of folks just kind of say, here, you want free beats? Sign up to my email list. They're like, what free beats? Where's the beat? I don't even know what beat I'm getting for free. So you have to be very specific on the free thing that you offer and offer a lot of free. Trust me, this will always pay for itself. Offer tons and tons of free stuff in exchange for a name and an email. Then you go to what's called a one-time offer. The one-time offer's job is to monetize that relationship. Because again, let's go to the girl analogy. You meet a girl in Club YouTube. You guys are just vibing. You know, you're chilling. You see a girl you like. You go up to her. You ask her for her name and her phone number, her name and her email in this case. And you say you have to give her something for free or a reason to give you that phone and email number. Email number. You can tell my brain is all over the place. You need to give her a reason why you're valuable enough to give you her information, period. Okay. And you have to, after she gives you her name and your number, you're just going to walk away and not talk to her. No, you're going to say, hey, I have something going on at my house. You want to come back, to hang with my friends at my house? This would be the one-time offer. It's a limited time offer. You guys are at Club YouTube. You just got her name and her number. Now it's time to ask her something. And this is called the one-time offer. In this case, for your business, you would be offering them a product or a service for sale. After the one-time offer, let's say she says, no, I don't want to come back to your place. I don't really know you guys like that. I need more trust or whatever, it is. So you say, okay. And then you email her over time or you text her in real life. You don't email people. Okay. You text her over time to build trust and build a relationship. And you go through what's called an email sequence. This is a series of things that you do to build trust and rapport with that person, the girl you just met, for example. And then after you've created enough value over time, the whole goal is to create value over time so that she knows you're the real deal and that you're not some slimy guy that just tries to deceive her. Okay. And then you go to the sale. And the sale is going to be a product or a service. This could be in girl world. We're talking, this is a date. Okay. This is you asking her out to a date. So this dating relates to business, relates to everything. So it all ties together. So that would be a flow for your beats to answer your question. I forget who asked the question. I think it was Loner Square, I think. All right. Keep asking your questions. I'm like literally going through these. Don't feel like I'm skipping you. If you could at BusyWorks Beats, I can see it on my screen a lot easier. What do you think is the best way to get placements? Get to know, focus on relationships and not worried about your beats. Focus on like making real friends. And when here's a whole video actually, because it's too long to describe. Type in networking BusyWorks Beats into YouTube because I have a whole video explaining that concept, and it's kind of in depth. I can't just give you like a quick 30-second answer. It's a whole video. Boy Band says, how do you scale up your Facebook ads after you see that it's working? For example, changing your ad spend from 5 to 50. So what I was taught with Facebook specifically is to duplicate your ads instead of raising the budget. In theory, I haven't tested this out, but I've heard from mentors who have spent hundreds of millions on ads that you don't want to increase your budget over 20% because it's going to change the algorithm. And once you change the algorithm, then it's going to act differently, basically. And it's going to do different things. So long story short, what they do, instead of taking their ad spend from 5 to 50, they'll duplicate the ad. So let's say you have an ad that's $5 right now that you're spending per day on an ad. And you're saying, oh, this is working. I'm getting $20 every time I spend $5 per the day. I get 20. So you're multiplying your money times 4. That's a signal. Okay, we need to scale. We need to pump more money into this because it's working. Okay. Then you say, I want to spend $50 a day. But what you do is instead of increasing the $5 ad to 50, my God, get out. You duplicate it and make another ad. So let's call that ad 1. This is ad 2. So now on ad 2, you'll spend $45 a day because you wanted to go up to 50, but now you're spending 50 a day. So now after you spend 45, what's that times 9? I can't do math. So let's say you make about 180 per that set. So it's about a 4x return. If I'm doing that math right, yeah, about roughly. Okay, and then you keep going and going and going. Just duplicate them out. That's how you scale. It's called horizontal scaling versus just vertical scaling. Bufo says, I'm having a really hard time figuring out branding. Right now, I've only been producing for almost 2 years and don't even have a logo because I don't know what I should be asking myself for the brand. Your brand is, let's just kind of go through it step by step. Type in, whenever you have a question about something, type in the word and type in etymology. And I want you to get to the core meaning and where that word came from. What I think about networking shows, to Star, I think I met you, Star, actually. I feel like, I know who Star is. I've seen you one time. I feel like at NAMM and stuff, the thing is, it's not really NAMM. It's that it brings influential people under one roof for like a short amount of time. So for example, when I go to NAMM January 26th through 29th, it's not really that I'm looking at all the exhibits and everything. It's that, Warren Hewitt will be here. Who else is important? Let's say Curtis King will be there. B-Boy Tech Report. I think that's how I saw you. You were talking to them. St. Joe will be there. Tech, companies will be there. So it's like, who do I want to meet here? Other than companies, like if you're trying to meet people, it's a good networking event for outside of NAMM. So for example, I'm booking studio time during that NAMM week and inviting all the influencers during that time because everybody's going to be in the same area at the same time. So that's my philosophy about networking. Anyway, here's brand real quick. Brand says fire, flame, destructions by fire. Fire brand, piece of burning wood, torch. Interesting. You would never think brand meant flames or fire or anything. Then it says sword, a burning. Then it says firebrand, blade of a sword, fire from. Okay, meaning from. Iron instrument for branding in 1828. A mark made by a hot iron. Okay, so let's use this. A mark made by a hot iron. What makes you hot? First of all, you have to be the fire, the flame. You have to consistently light up your audience and build that buzz and build that momentum. What's up, Dilio T2K? And build up that buzz and build up that attention. And when you become hot, literally hot, then you are stamping people. Like, for example, when Lil Wayne was the hottest rapper alive, he stamped his brand onto Drake. He knighted Drake because in the old days, royalty used to, the way stuff works is social status. Okay. So for example, if Lil Wayne is the king of Young Money Empire, okay, Lil Wayne is the king of Young Money Empire. And here comes Drake. Lil Wayne has a ceremony where he grabs his sword and he puts his sword on the shoulder of Drake and says, I now knight you the Duke, the Drake of Young Money Empires. And now Drake has the blessing from the king, and his social currency from Lil Wayne goes on to Drake. That's how Drake became the biggest rapper alive. It's because he took the energy from an already established royalty who had social currency named Lil Wayne. And the same thing goes with branding. You have to either be knighted in so that you have social status, or you're going to have to create something so hot based on consistency that you build up tons of trust with your audience, because branding is also trust. If I go to a new city and I'm confused on what to eat, I say, oh, I already know what a McDonald's experience is like. I'm not going to go to this Burgernator. I want to go to McDonald's because I know exactly what my money is going to be spent on, and I know exactly what I'm going to get. That's what a brand is. It's consistency. I know that the McDonald's in Toronto is going to be the same McDonald's in Atlanta, is going to give me the same McDonald's in California. And you have to apply that to your business. Basically, consistency of deliverables is how you get to that point, whether that's content or a product. Anyway, so that's what branding actually is. I missed a lot of questions because I went on like a little mini rant, so forgive me here. Should you create a website with no following and fear of rejection as a producer? Should you create a website? I wouldn't focus on like a whole website. Ask yourself, what's the point of a website? It's to sell stuff. So the main thing you need is just an e-commerce platform, like something where you could sell something. You need a shopping cart of some form. So as long as you have a shopping cart of some form and a page to describe the value you offer, you'll be fine. Now, do you need a whole website to do that? Not necessarily. What do you think the most important social media platform is for branding and marketing? All of them. Like, there is no one thing. For example, there is no one thing. For example, Periscope used to be hot, then it's not. Or what else is there? Periscope, Meerkat used to be hot, now it's not. So we can choose a platform and say Facebook today. Facebook could be gone tomorrow. I mean, theoretically that's crazy, but you know what I mean. TikTok could take over Instagram. We don't know. Or it could be another thing. Like Twitter may go away. We don't know. We don't know the future. So just pick one and figure out where your audience lives. It's kind of like neighborhoods. Twitter's a neighborhood, Facebook's a neighborhood. Figure out where the kids you want to, help are, and then stay in that neighborhood. And then you'll grow to go to other neighborhoods. To all the producers, do not chase placements. It's a waste of time. I got my first placement by sending loops to producer friends who are working with artists. 3 years in the game, says Big A. Shout out to Big A. Yeah, it's about relationships. And a lot of people want to just go past, they just want to focus on talent so much. It has nothing to do with talent. Salute to all the brothers greatly. What do you think about music industry producers offering placements for a fee? Been getting a lot of offers, but not sure if it's a scam. I don't know if they're a scam, meaning they're going to take your money and run. However, if you had to pay for a placement, I think that's a good look. I don't know why people are so against buying collabs, because if I know that I can buy a Murder Beats collab or a who else is hot? Somebody name some hot rappers in the chat. If I could buy who else is hot? I can't think of hot rappers right now. Like a Roddy Ricch or Young Thug. If I can get a verse from Young Thug, that's going to make my brand look even better because, I worked with Young Thug. And now you can go to the next person and say, yo, I work with Young Thug. They're more likely to work with you. Nick Muir, for example. Lil Baby. So, for example, when I did my Razer deal with a $1 billion company called Razer, every other company looked at my company and said, oh, you must be trustworthy because a $1 billion company trusted you with their brand. And I got so many brand deals simply because of the Razer deal. So it's the same thing when it comes to buying collabs. I didn't buy my Razer deal. They came to me. But the point is, if I could have done that, so be it. I would have done it. So let's say I bought the Razer deal. And all these companies say, wow, you work with Razer. I want to work with you now. What's wrong with that? You just expanded your trust level by working with somebody who's trusted in the industry. It makes sense. That's what podcasts are for. That's what Oprah is for. That's what Ellen is for. They bring on celebrities because people trust those people. I make beats, raps, love anime, and fight MMA professionally. How do I include them all to make my brand? One thing you want to separate, Sunshine, is your personal brand from your business brand. So each of those things would be a separate business brand. And your personal brand would be that you're a rapper, that you love anime, that you like to fight MMA. So separate those two early. It'll make a lot more sense for you. Facebook is dead. Yeah, it's all about like memes on Facebook. Facebook is kind of like for advertisers right now. What's your favorite plugins for mixing? UA stuff, Universal Audio. Should you create a website? Yeah, okay. So any business questions? Busy use Shopify? Yeah. So if you have questions, if you could at BusyWorks Beats, that'll like let me see it a lot easier. But that's my dissertation on funnels. I could go through MG's Twitter and just respond to all his tweets, but I just find it more destructive than building up people. But there's so many miseducated statements that were made. I don't want to dissuade you guys in thinking that ClickFunnels means bad business, or that people are always trying to scam you when they talk about affiliates, or that, oh, it's a pyramid scheme. All this stuff is just holding you back from success, and it's incredible. Like, the whole point right now is to build up the producer community. That's our number one goal right now, and we need to fight for our own. These other companies aren't worried about us. We need to build up our own media outlets, our own educational systems, our own products, our own software, our own sounds. Don't worry about these other companies. Let's build up our own. How to market your release and gain. Wait, how to market your release and gain an audience. You gain an audience, then you release. Think of it the other way around. Cloud is everything. Otherwise, iOS programs would not have survived. True. Cloud is literally everything. What's your favorite plugins for mixing? Oh, I answered that one. Can I sell a beat with a sample without clearing the sample? A lot of people tell you that, but if you put it on a public platform to do it, you're violating the copyright. So if you do it, typically when producers say you don't have to clear the sample, it's because they're offline and they're in the studio working with the artist. So they don't ever put it online. And then the label's job is to clear it. But the issue is that you're probably online and you have an online business. The moment you put it up online and for sale, for commercial use, is violating the copyright of the sample. And you didn't clear it to sell it. So no. Do you recommend being more on camera as producer to make sales? Yes. The more people see your face, I used to be scared to show not scared, but like thinking that, I don't know, I'm black. I talked like I'm from Philly. I didn't think people would receive me too well. So I didn't want to be on camera so much or even show my face. So I would use a lot of logos and like not really show my face during tutorials. But over time, you realize your face is your greatest asset. People are like, oh, that's busy. I know your face. It's the greatest asset you have is your face. Assuming that you want to wrap your personal brand around your business brand. If you want to separate the entities and have like a business that you're just running without your face on it, then that's a different thing. My voice is really going here. Do you recommend answer that one. Do you mix on headphones? Yes, all the time. However, I would like to mix on speakers. It's just that I don't have the right acoustic treatment. I'm waiting for a commercial studio to open up. This $1 million facility. Can't wait. I have my own room, waiting on it. Have our own platform. Yes. What are your thoughts on going to college for music production engineering degrees? I find that there's a certain polish that come with audio engineers who can just figure out stuff like hardware problems or just know more of the tech stuff. I feel like there's a certain knowledge that you can't just get from YouTube. But recording bands, you need to physically be in a studio to do it. So you're going to learn a lot as far as recording. And that's a process you really can't learn online. I don't care how many videos there are. Recording is you have to touch it, do it, type of thing. It's not like, you can get the general concept online and then apply it, but you have to at least be able to apply recording. So that's all I'll say about that. What stock plugins can I use for EDM Serum, Cymatics presets, whatever you want to do? Do you read Napoleon Hill's book? Yes. Do you know the story how he volunteered 20 years of service? Yes. For example, I have a mastermind group, a private group of top influencers. We talk all the time. And this is why I think MG the Future is like on attack mode, is because he thinks this group is like against him. It's not the case. I invited him to be part of this kind of influential group called the Mastermind, where our main goal is to help the producer community, build this infrastructure, build up the economy for the producers, do these things, have events, have cool stuff. But, he didn't want to be a part of it because he thinks he's skeptical or I didn't do my job in making it sound cool enough. So I can't blame him. I have to blame myself because I didn't make it seem a certain way. But regardless, I think that's where a lot of those comments are coming from. And that's why I have to publicly clear it up, that there's no scamming business. There's no skepticism. There's none of this crazy stuff going on behind the scenes. I can guarantee that. Are you familiar with OpenCart? It sounds like a checkout system, so sounds cool. Do we have to clear royalty-free samples? No, royalty-free, meaning, good question, though. That's a good question, but no. But I would always read the sound packs that you have, because some people, just like exclusive, when they say they're selling an exclusive to them could mean something completely different than you. So just read those terms just in case. Everybody doesn't, use the same language. Is there a certain way a beat has to be mixed and mastered? My friend Diego Ave, it depends on what business you're in. If you're in the offline business, even Carter Got Wings talks about this. He says he doesn't mix his beats because it messes up the job for the engineer. So it depends on your business. If you're more offline dealing with artists and that's your business model, I wouldn't go hard with mixing the beat because eventually you're going to have to mix in the vocals and mix in, and master the track. Trying to think of a way to answer you. But if you're online, you want to have the most presentable product, period. So in that case, you will have to mix and master to make it loud enough for people to think that it's hard. So there's a nuance to it, and it's something that I can't just give you a quick answer to. The MIDI Money course advocates for the value package message to sell beats. The value package bundle message to sell beats. Do you feel that lowers the perceived value per beat? No. People think in bundles. I'll be quick about this kind of explanation, but okay, think about the military, right? They don't just send out one Marine, and shout out to everybody who served. They don't send out one Marine to go attack a city. This is my terrible drawing of a city. Okay. One building city. They send out multiple groups of Marines, AKA squads. Okay. So let's say it's 3. You have now a greater chance of taking the city than just the one Marine alone. So that's what bundling or packaging is. It's called force multiplier. You are introducing elements to your squad to make it higher force, meaning you're increasing the overall strength of your squad. So that's what bundling and packaging does. It just increases the value, perceived value. Just like when you go to McDonald's, you don't buy one French fry at a time. You buy the group of French fries. You buy the meals, which are French fries, the burger, the drink. That's a bundle. That's a package. I use the Sennheiser HD 600s. I'm wearing them right now. Do you recommend buying a laptop? Oh, wait, sorry, I can't read. Buying a used laptop? I've never used a used laptop before. Anybody else? I've never used a used laptop. I can't recommend it though. I'm not too computer literate though. Music engineering is a serious business. EQ, you need to be there to learn. Mixing is one thing, but as far as recording, that's something that you physically have to learn how to set up the overall mic, the overhead mics and the angles and setting up an actual mic stand. You could look at somebody do it all day, but like it's confusing in person because you have all these knobs, you have to twist all these things. So that's what I mean by the recording process is a little more hands-on, actually the most hands-on. Where do you think someone just starting off should focus? Fan building. Where do you think someone just starting off should focus? Fan building and an email list. I've made music off and on for over 10 years. I want to take it serious. Yes, email lists are your number one asset right now. It's not social media. You could have 100,000 followers on social media and sell less than if you had an email list of 10,000. Email lists are the key because it's ongoing value over time. And then you offer them stuff. Social media penalizes you for offering stuff. So you literally can't really do the same thing on social media. At what point should one be looking to collab, and should it be with other producers or artists? It's up to you. I mean, there's 2 ways to think about a collab. It's to make a better product or it's to make a greater reach. So for example, my friend Diego Ave, he focuses on collabs because he knows that if he collabs with let's say producer Y, he's producer X, he knows that now his beats can be placed in the X chain or the Y chain. So he just increased his chances 2 times by collabing with another producer. Whereas some of you just want a better product. So in that case, you're collabing with somebody to just make the beat sound better. But in Diego's case, he uses it for business opportunity. He says, okay, that person knows a bunch of people I don't know. Let me collab with them because then we can network and get the beat pitched or shopped to more people. That's a better way of thinking about collabs. About MG, yeah, MG's on like a death spiral. I don't know what is into MG right now. Where do you think someone just starting off should focus? Fan building, and answer that one. Depends on what you're offering. Do you need to belong to a record label? No. Before you can air your beats? No. Nope. I've heard of people having their songs out on the internet first and then the labels coming to them. Is the Apollo Twin worth it? I have a Twin to my left. I would say yes. The Arrow, I wouldn't really recommend if you're trying to mix because you have to load up a lot of plugins. And the Arrow is good for a price, but you can't load up like a lot of UAD plugins. So it kind of like defeats the purpose, in my opinion. And we've worked with UA, and I love that company. I would highly recommend the Apollo Twin. if you're going to be mixing as a beat maker. I think the Arrow is more for people recording who only need like a preamp, a reverb, and a compressor on their vocals. So that's what I think it's built for, like more artists. Whereas the Twin is built for more mixing engineers slash producers who use UA plugins. I mean, are you making a squad? You should. Yeah, I'm, behind the scenes, we're doing a lot of stuff, a lot of cool stuff. I won my laptop from Curtis King, used, and it's still going strong. That's hilarious. Was I calling you on the Skype then? Was that you, Sunshine, that I was calling? Because every time I would call Curtis King for our live streams, somebody else answered the Skype because he was still logged in on his old laptop. I found that hilarious. I don't know if that was you or not, but that was funny. All right, so if I'm boring you to death, I just wanted to give you a lot of business education. Looks like we were solid all the way through. But again, I'm just here to kind of answer up any wrap-up questions. Excuse me. Kenneth. Oh, shout out to you. Yeah, Star, I definitely remember you from NAM because I think you came up to St. Joe and them, I think. I saw you somewhere. I just grabbed a used late model i7. Cool. In regards to collabs, when do split sheets come into play? I just talk percentages up front. A cool percentage I like to use is 70-30. A lot of people talk 50-50, but there's an experiment done with, it's such a long explanation. There's an experiment done. You could do more research, but 70-30 is like the breaking point. Anything beyond 70-30, people feel ripped off. Like if you go, I think it was technically 80-20, but 70-30 is more safe as far as splits of anything. What was I going to say? For example, if you do a 90-10 split, people feel more ripped off and they're more likely to cancel a deal and not do it at all simply because they feel like they're not getting their just due. So 70-30 has been a safe spot for me in any deal as far as splitting, the revenue or income of something. Write your goal down. Cool. What's the most you've charged for a beat? Me personally, I'm going to set up a BeatStars soon. I just didn't want to get sidetracked, but my beats are going to start at 150 just to show you guys that price literally is irrelevant. It doesn't matter about your price. It's the value that you offer. If it justifies the price, can you say that they'll get a return on their investment when they spend that 150? If not, then they're going to have more skepticism buying from you. Have you ever seen a creator take legal action to claim a percentage from something that was labeled royalty free? Can a creator technically do that? That's what I mean by, if you're buying from people and they have a terms that's written in a document that says you bought from here are our terms and documented, cool. But anybody can go back to their webpage and say royalty free today, and tomorrow they could just erase it from their webpage with no evidence of that ever being in the conversation. So I would make sure that the documentation is included within the whatever you bought to say, this is what your product said. Why are you trying to come after me when you said it was royalty free? If you don't believe me, you can do more research on royalty free. Seems like you have more of a deeper study you have to do. Would you say simple beats sell better than the more complex? Yes. Have you discovered the difference between FL and 20? Still don't know the big difference. They fixed the audio delay compensation problem. So a lot of the time in FL 11 or 12, when you would export a beat, the tracks would be off time. And they fixed a lot of that. So you can do like parallel processing in FL 20 and it's a lot smoother. What mic do you recommend for recording myself with 150? Let me see how much a Shure SM7B. This is the best mic I've had. It's very versatile. This is Michael Jackson's favorite mic, I believe. Shure SM7B. It's 400, but it's worth it. Like I used to buy the Neumann mics, Neumann TLM 102, 103, the Neumann U87 mic, but I found this mic is very versatile for whether it's for videos or for recording. The only thing is you need a cloud lifter. So shout out to Martina. I don't know if you guys can see this on the stream, so let me make my screen bigger. If you do get a Shure SM7B, excuse me, make sure you buy this thing called a cloud lifter. It acts basically like a preamp, and it makes your vocals just sound way better. Okay, so that's what you need if you get a Shure SM7B mic. That's what I'm using right now. Now I do like the Neumann U87, but do you have $1,000 extra to spend on the mic right now? Probably not. So that's the thing. Where we at? Okay, making sure I'm answering your questions. So hold up. Yep, appreciate you. Had to leave the session. Not sure you answered, but is one-on-one assistance with this available? I don't have consultation right now. Thank you though for your question. I just don't offer that right now. I'm a newbie, 70/30. Oh, I missed that. Who in whose favor? I always give the greater percentage to the other person if I'm leveraging something they're delivering to me. So for example, if somebody wanted to come out with a sound pack and they developed all the sounds, I would take 30% because they developed all the sounds. I give them 70% because I want them to feel like they own the product so that we have a greater relationship. Now, if I created the product and put it on somebody else's platform, I would want 70%. They would get 30 for marketing the product. So that's how I think of it. Whoever created the thing that's to be sold gets the greater percentage. The person who's marketing it gets the lesser percentage in that case. So if you're, for example, in beat making world, if you're collabing with somebody and you're leveraging their audience, I would give them 70% and you take 30% because that's their audience you're targeting, not your own. You remember that? I'm kind of left in the dust there. Leasing a beat versus flat out selling it. I don't like flat out selling anything. Do you have any advice on this? I don't like exclusive anything. I like the recurring possibility to always license it. If you're going to sell exclusive, sell it for a lot of money, unless there's a lot of equations involved because you have to talk about the product, diminishing curves, and all this type of stuff, depreciation of the value. But long story short, it's more valuable sometimes to hold on to a beat and license it out over time than just sell it for one flat fee, because now you have to make another beat in its place and hope that it does the same numbers. And that's a whole, you're working more in that case. You're not letting your beats work for you. You're working more. Oh, first live stream, Dexterious. This is probably the most business focused live stream you'll ever see ever on this channel. The most, yes, versus desire. Every investment in your dream is worth it. Hey, hallelujah. Michael Weaver, you can change more for beats. Wait, oh, sorry. You can charge more for beats as your brand becomes known. Very true. Well, I wouldn't say little artists can't charge 150. It's they're talking to the wrong people. You have to target your audience better. Number one thing a lot of people don't do is qualify. So, for example, when you're selling stuff, here's what it comes down to. Does the person have money or don't they? That's all it comes down to. Do they have money or no? The people with money are willing to spend 150 because they have money. They have disposable income. The people who don't have money are like, I don't know, 150 is that's kind of high. You have any coupons for beats? You know, and then you get in that conversation. Another way to qualify is girls. Again, I'm always going to talk about the dating world because it ties back to business. So when you qualify girls, do you just pick any girl in the world, or do you look for certain traits that says that this type of girl might be a better girl for me? So that you have to qualify girls. Is she worth it, or is she going to be living trashy with a trashy lifestyle? Same with guys, in reverse for the girls watching. You have to qualify, screen out the people that you're talking to first so you don't waste your time talking to them. Is that cloud device useful for XLR mic? I don't know. I only needed this for my Shure SM7B because for whatever reason, the Shure SM7B mic had a low level. So I needed to boost it very high. And when I was using the UA 1073 preamp software plugin, it created like a buzz almost. Not saying the plugin was bad, but the way it's set up, I don't know. I don't know all the hardware tech stuff. Long story short, the Cloud Lifter fixed that problem. So I don't have to use the software components anymore. And it sounds cleaner in my opinion. CV is trying to create a, okay. There's a lot of comments in here. I got to skip over. Do you have a schedule where you do frequent live streams? Not really. Nope. Because I don't want to make a job out of this. I don't want it to be like every Friday at 6 p.m. Because if I want to see my family at 6 p.m. on a Friday, I have to say, oh, guys, I can't come see you. I have to live stream. That's a job. And I don't want to create a job for myself. Yo, can you help with vocals over phone? I don't do consults right now. Can you give some advice for making 80s or 90s type samples, like the melodic part or stuff like changing the bit rate? 80s and 90s is really about sound selection. Like synthesizers were heavy in the 80s. In the 90s, it was more about, it depends on like what genre too. But like in R&B, it was all about the Rhodes and pitch bending. Maybe I'll do a video on it if more people ask. All right, so I think we're getting to the tail end. I think we're dropping in numbers. That lets me know we're not really saying anything exciting. So to wrap it all up, back to the ClickFunnels conversation. I just want you guys to know that ClickFunnels are not evil. Business people are not evil. Just get rid of the skepticism, thinking that, you know, only people are using these platforms to sell you nothingness and to sell you a course. I'd rather them teach you how to do business and teach you sell you ClickFunnels so you actually build a real business, then you not do it at all. I don't even care what the motives are. Like, we need more of this knowledge in the community. And I'm just tired of people trying to hold you back from the next level of your business. Whether that was people's intentions or not, that's how it came off. So I'm here to correct all those myths. And that's all I got to say. So anyway, I see you don't have that many questions, so I'm assuming my audience wasn't too concerned about that. But as far as the other audiences, I just feel bad because they're being misled on a huge level. So anyway, thank you guys. I appreciate you for rocking with me. I'm going to go ahead and live life right now. But I appreciate you for taking the time out and doing your thing. Let me answer you real quick. Do you recommend attending conferences like A3C? Only if you know something's like, only if you know somebody going there. I don't know how to explain that because I don't go to these things like trying to meet new people. I go there trying to meet somebody I know and haven't met in person yet. So that's kind of the way I look at these events and networking things. Yep. So any questions you have about business, this is your last chance while we're live. I can break down almost anything since our numbers are jumping back up. We have a resurgence of viewers. So again, any music business questions you have, I will answer on the spot. And since we have a healthy audience, I don't want to leave you guys hanging. I want to give as much knowledge as possible while I'm here. When do you know you are ready for ClickFunnels? Most of you can't afford, not saying this that you're broke or anything, but most of you, business-wise, it doesn't make sense to jump into ClickFunnels because I think it's a $99 version and then a $300 version a month. And I wasn't on that type of monthly SaaS, SaaS, software as service. I wasn't on any online subscriptions like that for a long time. So some of you, it just doesn't apply to your business right now. But the idea of a funnel, you need at least look into optimized press or squeeze page technologies like lead pages, something that's more affordable for you. You at least have to understand the idea of what a funnel does, whether that's ClickFunnels or not. And I'm sure the guidance of Gabe and Anno Domini is extremely valuable because we were on call and Gabe is very giving. He's very open to share. So I support his visions. I haven't gone through his product yet, but I say as a person, he's very giving. I've had conversations with him. Anno Domini alike. We've had a conversation. Very open person. Can I buy setup and master overpaid beats? Cutting studio cost? What? Can I buy setup and master over beats? I'm not sure your question. I don't know your question. If you're asking me, can you just buy the beat? I have no idea what you're asking me, actually. Sorry. You got to rephrase that. How do we place more than one drum clip in the same piano roll? I have no idea what that means. One drum clip? You mean like sound? You would copy the piano roll to the next one. Hit Control C, Control V to paste. What if business is the biggest thing ever? What? Excuse me. What do you mean? How to start a record label? Oh boy, that's a big question. That's too big of a question. You're going to have to consult mentors in the entertainment industry, like a lawyer or somebody who can tell you about all the nuances of a record label, because you're going to have a lot of paperwork in order for that type of business. But a record label is essentially you offering people below you opportunities. That's all it is. It's nothing more than that. That's all it is. If you simplify it like that, you'll understand, oh, I just get a bunch of people that want to do the same thing as me, and that's really it. The paperwork side is the complicated part. What if business is the biggest thing ever? What do you mean? Oh, what? I have no idea what that means. How to start a recording? Oh. The thing about the recording label is how do you monetize it? I think that's a better question. So for example, you start the label and you have people under you. The question is, how do you get paid? Okay, so what you would do is you bring on, let's say you have your own talent as a producer and you bring on 3 new producers. What you would do is take a chunk of their income or some type of royalty split, something where you're monetizing the relationship. And that's where that 70-30 split comes into play. Let me make sure my big head isn't blocking these numbers. Hold on. Oh yeah, we're blocking 70-30. Let me make myself smaller. Hold up. There we go. Make myself a thumbnail. So that 70-30 split, you would get 30% of the stuff that they generate. And this is how producers stay relevant, like Dr. Dre, Mustard, all those producers. They bring in people under them and they take a cut of whatever they create because they're under the umbrella of this producer. So what do you offer as the top person in that situation? You offer the marketing. You have all the relationships with all the people in the industry. You pitch the product to other people. You place the product. So these people without you wouldn't necessarily get those placements. And that's why you're important in this equation. And that's why you take your 30% cut. So you said way too small. It's funny. Let's do bottom right. I have to pick a corner where I don't write. I don't think I write down there. There we go. And so that's how a business is structured. Or whoever asked the question, Alnite. That's how you would structure it. So you would take 30% of what these guys are doing. There's other deal styles where you don't have to take a percentage, but ultimately this is like the structure. There's somebody up top who has the opportunity and the leverage, and there's people below who need to utilize those resources or whatever the leverage is. It could be clout, it could be resources, it could be relationships, it could be distribution, whatever it is that you offer. It could be marketing, and then you take that cut. That's what a record label does, and that's all it is. But the paperwork and all that, like copyrights, LLCs, what else do you need? General agreements to deal with labels. There's stuff like that that a lawyer knows. Quick recap on what ClickFunnels is. ClickFunnels is basically a modern software. It's called software as a service, SaaS company, and they offer a solution where people can take traffic, it's called. And I don't want to go too deep into this because I already explained it earlier. You might have to just rewind the video. Why is my screen going crazy? Let's refresh. Something's happening on this website. Okay. So you take what's called traffic from the top. This could be social media. It could be YouTube. It could be IG, email, whatever. You take that traffic and you take them into what's called a funnel. So a funnel is just a focused series of things that happens online to ultimately get somebody to buy. So that's all it is. You go through things called opt-ins. You go through things called retargeting. We talked about this earlier, so I don't want to beat a dead horse. But that's what that's what a funnel is. It's guiding people to make a certain decision. That's all it is. Okay. So hopefully that makes sense in the online sense. So when you walk, for example, when you walk into Walmart or Target, they have a funnel. When you walk in, what's the first thing you see? Shopping carts, because they want you to put stuff in those shopping carts. What's the second thing you see? Seasonal stuff, because they want you to be in the emotional state of the season. So you get the seasonal stuff first, and that changes every season. So they have it up in the first thing you see on the left side or right side, wherever you begin with. Then you move on to the general floor, and they have it laid out to where the electronics are way in the back because they don't want people stealing that stuff. And they also know it's high ticket stuff, and they want people buying the lesser priced stuff up front because it's more likely to sell. Then you come back to the register. It's all a funnel. Let's draw it out. Let's draw out Walmart's funnel. Here's Walmart's funnel. When you walk into any Walmart in America, first thing you see when you walk into the front door, which is in a sense a door or a funnel, like literally guiding you to walk in one direction, you see the carts. After the carts that they want you to fill up with stuff, you see seasonal stuff, most likely. Depending on the layout of your Walmart, that's how it works. You see seasonal stuff. After the seasonal stuff, you see the general kind of inventory. Let's just call it inventory for now. Excuse me. Now, once you go more towards the checkout, you see these things called impulse buys. We're talking Slim Jims, candy, Skittles, Starburst, all the stuff that your biology wants that you don't necessarily need. And then you leave out the exit doors. So it's a pathway. This is called a funnel. It's a step of sequence. It's a sequence in which they want you to follow to ultimately increase the money that you're going to spend that day in Walmart. So that's the point of the Walmart funnel in this case. All we're doing online is saying, how do I mirror this system but for my online website? And that's all a funnel really is. How do I mirror that system for an online website? So hopefully that answers your question. Forgive me, there was a lot of questions I missed. Okay. Thank you. Appreciate you. Sitting on over 300 beats. That's crazy. Life has been funny like that. Should I make them all available at once? Yes. Well, yes. If nobody heard them yet, yes. Because there's no point in drip feeding 300 beats unless you have an audience that cares. Yes, just put them all out. And I would try bundling them because that's a lot of beats to go through. Even if somebody was interested, going through 300 of anything is a treacherous idea. So I would categorize them into themes and bundle them. Like, here's the lo-fi theme beats, and just package 20 of them into one thing and just go through those 20 and really categorize it, because people want easy. They don't want to think too much. If ClickFunnels are a bit much for beginners like myself, is ClickFunnels, well, let's read it as is. If ClickFunnels are a bit much for beginners. I see what you mean. Like myself at the moment, then would it be smart to just start with a simple online beat store and add it up via advertisements? Yeah, but you don't want to get too reliant on the beat store's navigation, because the problem with beat stores right now is that it's kind of like YouTube. I love YouTube. When you send people to YouTube, you're sending them to everybody's YouTube page. When they go to your page, they see recommended videos of somebody else. So you're ultimately leading your customer to somebody else. It's kind of like if you're trying to date a girl and you bring her around all the NBA players with money and the billionaires, it's like you're just introducing her to other people that are going to be competing with you. What's the point? You want to keep her in her own space so she's not distracted. And the same thing goes with your customer. So that's the issue I have right now with beat stores is use the beat store like you use social media. Just get people's attention with the beat store and then lead them to those squeeze pages we talked about, or those opt-in pages or sales pages we talked about. I know this is a lot to take in because, I mean, it took me 4 years to really understand it to this level. It's not something you can really swallow in one sitting. I remember my mentor went over what a sales page was and what an opt-in page was, what funnels were. It took me probably 20 listens just to understand the general concept of what was going on. So it's not something you're going to get in one live stream sitting. It's just not how it works. I purchased the Legion Beats training about that. The concepts are really gold nuggets, but the tool in itself has a lot of flaws, especially its insane pricing. It says Sam Silk. Cool. So that's why I said a lot of people aren't ready for the monthly fee that it is. Not at most people's levels just yet. So that's why they have to talk to certain people. Not everybody's ready for it. That's why they have to qualify the people that they talk to. Taking a cut can also be looked at as new producer paying dues, to a degree, but it's not required all the time. I'm not sure what you mean there, because in a sense, but yeah, I mean, dealing equity, it depends on whose audience they're leveraging. So it depends. Would it be too much to ask for you to please tell us before you delete what you draw? Sorry, my bad. I found it to be very valuable info that my fault. Or Bufo, if you go back and just pause the live stream, pause the live stream, screenshot it, then catch up with the live stream button. That's what YouTube is for. No, then you also have the 2x button on YouTube. I use that a lot to catch up during live streams. Will a certificate in music recording technology be valuable? Recording, I think, is still an art that you have to learn hands-on, whether you get that through a recording program or whatever. It's something you have to do hands-on recording. That's not really something you can do online. It's just something you got to get your hands dirty with. For a new unsigned artist, do you recommend they just create a ton of music and release it, or just concentrate on a project album? Let me answer your question. Hold up. For a new unsigned artist, do you recommend they just create a ton of music? I think the release over time is better than just throwing everything out at once, because people don't know you yet. So you're wasting all your energy throwing everything out at once. And then you're like, it's kind of like spending a bunch of money on a gift for a girl and she doesn't even look at the gift. It's like, why did you just spend a bunch of money buying a gift that she never saw? I'd rather buy little gifts and she realizes my value or whatever. Then you buy the big gift. You don't just throw the biggest gift out in the front. Cool. Should you copyright beats? Your beats are copyrighted once you make them public. So automatically your music gets copyrighted. If you want more information, go to copyright.gov. They have a very descriptive explanation of the process. It's easy to read. It's not like in legalese or anything. Go to copyright.gov and look up the music copyright. It's very easy to read. How to improve my YouTube beat channel? That's a very broad question, something I cannot answer in 30 seconds. Any advice for someone that has 900 unfinished beats? You just treat it like practice. It's not that they have to come out as a product. It's that you just had to do 900 things to practice. Do you know how music was mixed in the 90s, like soul, Japanese music, and pop? By the way, thank you. In the 90s, it was more so, it wasn't as crystal clear as today. It wasn't clean. It sounds vague, but cleanliness right now is a thing for pop music, whereas in the 90s, they had more textures and reverbs and stuff like that. Excuse me. Thank you so much. Cool. I think we're over the funnels talk, but again, I just had to address some of that stuff for you guys so that you weren't misled into that rabbit hole. How do you go about licensing your content? What do you mean licensing my content? You just sell it for all your advice. And I'm not, unless you mean like film licensing. I'm not sure which type of licensing. Licensing just means I give somebody else the permission to use it. That's it. There's no magical definition. Brought up Cubase, clicked on the menu, then I can't click on the file. Cubase, I'm gonna have to look back into Cubase. I don't know that program by heart. She wanted a gift card. Yeah, you don't have to copyright. I answered that like 3 times already. No, when you put stuff up online, it's automatically copyrighted. Here, signed photo of myself. That's hilarious. Can you figure out which subscribers or channel that is viewing your video on YouTube? No, they don't get. That's privacy that they don't give out. It's not like a story on IG. I'm 28. What's the best way to get in the right circles to work with people, get placements, opportunities, or value? I've been recognized, but I'm not sure about the next step. You just have to consistently be about something. So when I say ice cream, what's the company you think of when I say ice cream? Or what's the thing you think of when I say ice cream? Chances are you think of Ben and Jerry's, vanilla ice cream, or ice cream sundae. So you want to be that thing that people think about when they say something like, oh, I need a boom bap producer. And they think of, oh, I want, Joe Jr. Or excuse me, I said Joe Jr., Joe FR. Or Jofer. So you have to be the number one result for that keyword in their brain. Their brain is Google. You have to be the number one keyword pop up for when they search for that keyword. So think of it that way. You need to implant yourself in their brain as a keyword pop up. And you do that by consistently tying your story into that specific keyword. How many beats per week do you think can lead to a decent amount of money if you play your cards right on the marketing side? It's not about amount. It's about, like, you have to speak your audience's language. You have to get them interested. Like, Rockstar Games is so incredible because they get you interested before the product even comes out. And they haven't made a Grand Theft Auto in like 10 years and it's still going. It's because it's not about how many of something you have. It's how you deliver the solutions that your market is looking for. So it's not quantity. It's about finding the solutions for your audience. And I think money is important. I think that's something that we say just because we don't want to judge ourselves or be accountable for ourselves. Money is important. Like, if you want to be creative, you have to have money to be creative. It's not free. So, even art pieces in these museums, they spend hundreds of millions of dollars to keep them alive. So, like, creation is not necessarily like this free thing. It takes money. All right, so I think all the ClickFunnels questions were answered. I just want you guys to walk away with confidence, knowing that it's okay to learn about ClickFunnels. It's okay to learn about affiliate marketing. I don't care how many people call it a pyramid scheme. Like, I don't know. There's so much skepticism. It just bothers me. Bro, if someone steals your beats off of YouTube, posts a song on distro, will the artist who buys the beat have a copyright issue from that? Only if you have your song in a DistroKid or a TuneCore and they have the systems using the SoundScan technology to go in and identify it. Like, for example, if I use somebody's music in my YouTube video, YouTube scans it, and if they have it registered on one of those DistroKids or whatever TuneCore, it will have a service where it looks for that song on all the platforms, and it will identify it and tell you. So that's how it works. So basically, put your songs on there if you want that technology, okay? What kind of job or money can I get with a certificate? I mean, studios might not be hiring the same way they were, so you have to do it yourself, really. You have to record yourself. You have to build your own studio. That's what I would recommend. I wouldn't rely on the job market. I scream, you scream. It's funny. Apple saves millions in publicity by just creating the buzz around products that won't be released before next year. True. Where do you think is the best place to upload songs for new artists? Everywhere. There's no one place. Everywhere. You have to be everywhere because you don't know where your audience lives. You have no idea. The girl you like could be in South Dakota right now. She could be in Missouri. She could be in Hawaii. She could be in LA. You have no idea, but you have to be present in all those states to find her. Yeah, that comment, but a funnel's an upside down pyramid. Hello, you have a father and you have a mother. That's the top of the pyramid. They have kids. Those kids have kids. And what does this look like? It looks a lot like a pyramid. So we need to get over this whole pyramid crap and Illuminati crap. It's not always a scam. You know, like I could see if people were trying to sell like an affiliate program that sold you on products that you'll never use, but people are using ClickFunnels. Like I don't understand the problem with that. Nope, I don't have a course on ClickFunnels. I don't get monetized for this. There's no incentive for me making this live stream. It's just to help you get educated on business so that you can get to the next level. I don't want you to have fear. I want you to be educated. So we're down to 130. So I think it's time to wrap it up. The diminishing curve is kicking in. I think I answered all your questions. So anyway, thank you for joining. I'll keep this up for replay. It's Busy Works Beats. Hold on. Wait.